Sports Encyclopedia. USD Kim. Got Trent in the cut.
What a you?
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. You said from day one you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you all. God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you.
Smitty and Jason Brown.
To the Coach JB show.
What up? The last fuck I gave went that away. Maybe you can go find the motherfucker if you hurry. Because I really don't give a fuck. Let's get it cracking. It's Merciless Monday. I'm taking no mercy on this Merciless Monday. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member. Make sure you head on over to BetUS today. Before this playoff start, go get your bets in on BetUS. Use my promo code CoachJB and get you a 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. So head on over there today and use our promo code CoachJB. BetUS, where the motherfucking game's at. Let's get into this, man. There's a lot going on today, and I want to be clear here on what's going on. Everybody in the chat, everybody out there, all you guys want to hear from Smitty about what's happening in the world in certain situations. You know damn well we cannot discuss that. I wouldn't put my man in that predicament, and all you thinking that he can talk about it are just clueless. The man's employed there. Understand. I would never put somebody in that way, in harm's way. So understand, yeah, we're the realest show on planet Earth. So I'm going to address it, and that's what I just did. So stop asking about it. Stop talking about it. But, so you do understand. On my other channel, go check that out, because that is where I might be. See, I don't care about going viral like y'all do. I really don't. Viral over integrity is something I'm just not built like. Because at the end of the day, when I die and my ass is facing up and my mouth and face is down, you can kiss it. I don't know if you know that. Because nobody's going to give a fuck. So I'd rather have integrity and character than fucking talk about something than put somebody in harm's way. So just understand that. Now, let me give you a little update real quick on this. I am leaving in about 25 minutes because I'm going to be on a very, 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 very big show today. And I have to drive several hours. So Smitty and Shaun King is going to be the host today. Shaun King's going to hop on and replace me, be on the rest of the show with Smitty. We got E-Dub, Eric Weddle's Monday. He'll be joining us. So I'm just giving you guys an update on everything that's going on. I'll be on All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Stack later on today. So I got to drive far, far away. So it is what it is. So I'll be on that. I'm going to bounce, and then we're going to have Shaun King and Smitty will co-host along with E-Dub, Eric Weddle, and all that. So tomorrow, though, we'll have our main man, Scatabo, on Cam Scatterbo because I told you he'd be on the day, but I had this come up over the weekend. I was invited to be on that show. So just giving everybody an update. And we'll have our main man, Cam Scatterbo, tomorrow when I'm on full time for the rest of the show. I will pop in as I'm driving. I'll pop in with Smitty and Shaun King if need be. So just giving you guys a full update on what's going on. All right. So we got a loaded lineup this whole week. We got a lot of good guests this week. And so just stay tuned. It's the realest show on planet Earth. So let's dive into this thing, man, because Tyreek Hill is on the thumbnail. And I just want to make sure we're clear here. Let's start this bitch off. Another shitbird who is overpaid and who has this year underdelivered in Tyreek Hill. We have to stop enabling these young kids in high school and college, or you will see hundreds of Tyreek Hills playing on your favorite team near you. Addition by subtraction is a real thing, but what do I know? What do I know when I tell you about addition by subtraction? The Buffalo Bills got rid of shitbird Diggs. What have they done? Oh, the Kansas City Chiefs absolutely made a business decision in addition by subtraction. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the Chiefs have won every fucking Super Bowl since they traded Tyreek Hill, shitbird ass, to the Dolphins. Meanwhile, the Dolphins have clearly got in that trade because Andy Reid knew he was a shitbird. And Zaz, this is why you have overpaid and you cannot continue to overpay shitbirds who refuse to go in the game like Tyreek Hill did yesterday. If I were the NFL, I would keep his check, not pay him for games not played and practices that he missed. He missed practice Friday to sell clothes on TikTok. I mean, what the fuck are we doing here, people? Stop allowing this shit. Start coaching it, people, or we will see this everywhere. The enabled, entitled shitbirds across the NFL is what we're going to see because you're doing it right now in high school, youth football, and college with the portal and the NIL. We are seeing it in every level. You're letting them transfer 4 times in high school. You don't think it's going to go upwards? What I've been telling you guys, this is what it's become. So please, coaches, parents, and mentors, start creating men again, not boys who have been entitled beyond belief. But what do I know? Let's dive into this, man. Let's bring my main man, the Far East Sider, the 317, LeBron hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, and AR5 defending, Caitlin Clark jocking, Fox Sports' very own Big Smitty. Bring him in.
What's going on, chat, man? What's going on, JB, man? We here live on a beautiful Monday, man. We got Texans Purr, we got Gene, we got Briggs, we got D Jones. And listen, everybody in the chat wants to know my opinion on the biggest topic of the weekend. And the way I'm feeling right now, JB, I might say fuck it and talk about it. Shane Steichen and fucking Chris Ballard are staying with the Colts. We gonna dive into that later, but man, that's the biggest topic of the weekend, and this shit got me pissed off, JB. I can't wait to dive into this, but how you doing right now?
I thought you got fired already, and I was like, shit, Smitty about to go in. Fuck it, let's break to the internet then. Hey, I got your approval, we'll break the internet.
He got happy as hell. He was like,
I was like, my dick started to move. I was like,
what was that?
My shit. I thought a mushroom hit my plate. But anyway, let's talk about beautiful day on the yacht yesterday. I don't know if you know, it might have been the most beautiful day I've ever been a part of.
It was a beautiful day today. I was at the Rams game. I was in a custom little section.
It was like 75 on the water.
Oh man, you can't beat that.
And I moved my boat from where you've been to a whole nother like world. So
what?
Yeah, dog. I'm in a and then I took it to a spot that I found, and unbelievable, dog. A whole scene, bars hopping, pull the boat up, just all kind of shit cracking. Nice little cold bar too, a cold little bar, like old school setup. It was cool.
Was it hoes out there?
Yeah, a lot of hoes.
Damn. Oz is fine. Look at this, y'all. You got really a Rube. Rube always ready to roll.
Now go say some.
We're going to get copyright for that, but oh well.
Nah. It don't matter. Show's so big now. We can go. We go a day without it. You know what I mean?
So no money today at all. We good.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, man. As long as you got me. As long as somebody got me. I don't care if you got me, Bailey got me, D. Jones, or Gene got me. As long as somebody got me, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't wait. You got to go to work today after this. You'll have stories for days. We just can't discuss. I'll go. I got to be on all the smoke, right? Yeah, all the smoke.
I'm playing around.
No, I'm going to make sure that's the name of it.
All the smoke. Yes, sir. That's a huge show, huge opportunity for yourself. Everybody clap right now in the comment. JB real like don't nonchalant, don't care about nothing. This actually is a pretty big deal to get on this show. So shout out to JB for getting on there, go out there and kill it. Talk about our show on there, talk about D Jones on there, all the fans, you know what I mean, on there. Chris, Luz, give them a shout out on the show, and we're gonna keep the thing rolling.
No doubt. I'm rocking the hoodie, Smitty. I'm wearing the Coach JB show hoodie. I'm gonna be flamed up.
Huh? You told me you don't bang no more. You said you started banging at 16, homie.
I don't bang.
Okay, I'm making sure.
But let you know, though, I represent. So let's go. Let's talk about quote of the day real quick. Brought to you by BetUS. Head on over there. Use our promo code CoachJB. Get you 150% buy-in right now. Bonus up to $2,000 plus protection and security on your bets. And I won a little money over the weekend. I know Bailey did too. Picked the Jets money line over the Dolphins because I knew that the Tyreek Hill shit bird is a real thing. So I knew that was going to kick in eventually when they had nothing to play for and there was no playoffs because that's what shitbirds do. He had more kids this year than touchdowns. Quote of the day brought to you by BetUS. Smitty, fake people have an image to maintain. Real people don't give a fuck.
And there it is. Now, I will say this. You can be real, but be in a situation where you can't allow that realness to fully come out. That is a fact.
You don't have to defend yourself today. I already did for you, so we already know.
I ain't talking about me.
Yeah, I'm just saying. We already know. The quote of the day had nothing to do with you. Fake people have an image to maintain. Real people don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
On the show, later on my other show, I'll blast many and all them. Contrary to belief,
was that way. The last fuck I gave was that way.
Contrary to belief, brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there. Use our promo code CoachJB as well. Smitty, we need to text less and talk more. Contrary to belief. I just want to say that. I just want to let everybody know that. Stop fucking texting. Start talking more.
Ain't nobody talking. Like, it don't make no sense. It's time. Come on. I agree with that 100%. 100%. But, JB, let's keep this thing rolling. Let's really, because you got a little bit of time. I want you to speak your mind, get your thoughts off.
Hey, I want to ask you, though, real quick. I'm surprised that all the smoke's having me today, to be honest. I told you, you and I was like, damn. Because, they're kind of like a little finger. And I'm like, but you know what? I've known a lot of these cats for a long time, man. Shout out to my boy Jelani McCoy, my boy Moose Bailey. They work on the set. Yeah. They actually lean like my way. See what I'm saying? Like, people don't realize you can't stop. You got to stop judging every single person. Matt Barnes had Sage Still on. Mm-hmm. I think that's real shit. Have people that disagree with you on your show. Yeah. That's what we like to do. I like to get people to disagree. Kudos to them for having me on. And just so we're clear, I would never disrespect a person on their platform that's brought me in to give me the platform. And just so we're clear, that's just how I roll. Just like I wouldn't do that to Smitty today. Like I said, that's what being real is, contrary to all your belief. Right. It's not about airing dirty laundry. It's about being real. That's what you guys don't get. So we're going to break that down today. I'll be on there, though. But let's go, Smitty. I know you're talking about this Tyreek Hill thing. It's Black Monday. I just want to be clear. It's Black Monday.
What is Black Monday for the fans, audio people? What is Black Monday? Is it racist? What is that exactly?
Black Monday is unfortunate. Why they call it Black Monday, I have no idea. Mostly white coaches getting fired.
Because it's mostly white coaches, motherfucker. The one black coach we had got fired, though, Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, but ESPN keeps advocating for it, though. And they're black men doing it. It's crazy to me. But anyway, Ryan Clark called this the golden era of quarterback play the other day. And then Booger tweeted out, DTR should not even be a quarterback in the NFL. And I tweeted out at him, but your colleague Ryan Clark just says the golden era, homie. Homie's going viral, by the way. Homie on for me is like everybody's saying homie, like on DM, on Instagram posts, homie.
We do that shit up though on this show. You gotta keep it real.
I know.
It was the one night. It was you and why I always forget your best friend name. What's your best friend name?
Spree.
I always forget. Shout out to Spree. It was that night when we came to your crib and we recorded that little piece, and you and Spree just kept saying homie, and that was a moment I'm like, this shit is hilarious. It's something about homie that's like straight LA, and it's just funny. So now, bro, I say homie all the time now, and now my people back home in Indiana be like, bro, stop saying homie. But it's just in my brain now, and I just gotta say it. It's my shit now. I stole it.
Yeah, it's a homie. I'm just saying. But anyway, the golden era of QB play would mean everybody's good. Overall, the product's great. That's what golden era is. Doesn't mean one player's good. It means everybody, no matter who you put in. And it's crazy. You have brothers out there. Booger, Ryan Clark talking about a brother in DTR that just shouldn't be in the league. To me, is just like a backhanded slap. And then they don't care, Smitty, because the guys on the ground, you and I, I'm just saying the ground workers, the guys on the field that are having to interview these guys.
Yeah.
Don't want to talk to those guys now, and they work for the same network because they don't want to talk to you when people like Ryan Clark and Booger are bashing them, talking about they shouldn't even be in the league. DTR has clearly earned the right to get into the fucking league. Like, it's just a slap in the face. Y'all call me negative Nancy and talking shit. You can't say golden era and then talk about a dude that shouldn't be in the league as a quarterback that made it to the league. Like, man, I took offense to that. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about Black Monday for the audio listeners. Coaches are going to get fired today, and it leads into this week. And that leads us into the poll question right out the gate, Smitty. One surprise keep was Brian Daboll in the Giants in New York. Poll question, surprise, Smitty, that the Giants are keeping Brian Daboll?
You know what? I actually am. Even though I'm a fan of Brian Daboll, and I don't blame Brian Daboll for the debacle and for the Giants, I blame the GM and the organization more than anything. But a lot of times the GMs don't get the finger pointed directly at them from the organization. A lot of time it gets pointed directly at the head coach. And regardless if you're a good head coach or a bad coach, someone has to take the blame, and typically it is the head coach that takes it. So by them keeping him, I actually think this is one of the best decisions the Giants have made in recent years. You know, we obviously saw the little mid-season little show, whatever, when they were the draft edition of them deciding they're going to keep Saquon or let him go, whatever the case may be. And we saw how bad of a decision that was. They put their investment into Daniel Jones instead of Saquon Barkley, and it was a complete failure. But this right here, I think, is actually a smart move to start their offseason by keeping Brian Daboll. He's a good coach. Everybody I've spoken with who's actually played under him, you look at his history. You know, he played a role in who Josh Allen is today. He's a leader of men. He's not like some pushover. Like, when you hear about Brian Daboll, you hear good things. So I think that's actually a good move. But the bigger surprise is Joe Shaun or Scone. Am I saying it right? Is it Shaun? I don't know why he's still there. That's the problem. That's the bigger. I don't know why the hell he's the GM, right? That's the GM. I'm not mistaken, right? That's the GM. The decisions he made in this offseason alone should get him out the fucking door. His kid was on the video saying, "Hey, Dad, if I was picking somebody, I'd go get Jaden Daniels." His motherfucker's kid was better than him. That's hard to say. That's hard to say.
When do you talk about the owner who okayed it, though? Because if I'm the owner, I tell him, no, Saquon staying, and I walk out the door.
Yep.
He had a back and forth. They had a back and forth about it, and then the owner agreed to it. So I don't know.
The owner can't fire himself. I mean, I guess he could, but I mean, you're the owner. You know,
not gonna owner. But I'm saying when, obviously we just never talk about the owner, and that's why I think we should. Jerry Jones. You got this man over there that's been in New York forever. We got a lot of bad owners. Look at what Khan has done in Jacksonville, firing Doug Peterson this morning. If anybody doesn't know, Doug Peterson was fired about an hour ago. So that's number 2 right now. Yesterday, Gerard Mayo was fired in New England after just one short year. I think they realized you probably shouldn't win yesterday, Gerard Mayo, and you did. So it fucked your draft status up with players. And then in the Doug Peterson case, sorry, babe, I'm all over you. I know you're trying to catch up with the video or the graphics. On the Doug Peterson side, he's been there 3 years. Smitty, I think they've lost 28 of their last fucking 35 games or something. They're just going in a downward spiral, and it is what it is. We figured that when you sign a guy for $200+ million and a quarterback, you're expected to win as the coach. AP will be the next decision. We'll figure out. Mike McCarthy will be up in the air. Is he going to move? I was hearing if McCarthy got let go from a good source of mine, that he would be the Bears' new head coach. That was what I was hearing. Now what happens is, but do you just say, fuck it, fire me? No, you got to make sure that these are 32 of these jobs in the world, dog. If they're going to keep you, you stay. You don't go shop the market. You don't go check the market and not have no job. For sure, pussy's better than no pussy. So that's where I think McCarthy will stay. I don't know about AP. I hope he stays, actually. He's got no talent, no QB right now, and no wideouts. You got rid of your best receiver. You got no running back. You got rid of Josh Jacobs. There's no O-line. You got a freak of nature, the best tight end and rookie, in my opinion, in football, in Brock Bowers. You got to build around that, in my opinion. So I don't know what's going to happen. There's some other guys involved. And then who's going to get hired is the question. Mike Vrabel to New England now makes the most sense. But Mike Vrabel to the Raiders makes sense. To the Jaguars makes sense. To the, you know what I'm saying? So
every opening down there makes sense.
Mike Vrabel will be the guy at number 1 taken off the board in the coaching world. We'll see what the Jets end up doing and who they're going to go after. I like Rex Ryan.
I like Rex Ryan. Yeah, I want Rex back in the Jets uniform. Last time they were relevant is when he was there. Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah, I'm a Rex Ryan guy.
He might bring you on.
Yeah, man. And then you got a lot of things going on, Smitty. Aaron Rodgers talking maybe the last game. I think it should be now. After watching him this year, he's just not the same. That's going to be a discussion for this week. Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers and all these different guys that we have topics on this week. Joe Burrow, I think, the Bengals are ruining his career or legacy, possible legacy. By just not getting better on defense. The Chiefs can do it every year, manipulate the roster and manipulate the cap. Why can't you, Cincinnati? You got a quarterback who can beat Mahomes, and yet you won't give him a defense, and every single year you start the year off 1-4, 1-5, 2-5, and expect Burrow to save you. Burrow did an unbelievable save job this year, and it just still wasn't enough. So misses the playoffs again, and you refuse to surround him with a defense or a possible run game or a possible O-line. Just continue to do so. You're wasting his talent, in my opinion. So that's just another thing we're going to have to talk about this week, Smitty. But let's dive into Tyreek Hill real quick before I leave.
Yes, sir, man. So Tyreek Hill, man, it's a lot that went down, man. So in the game yesterday, obviously the Dolphins, they needed to win. They also need the Broncos to lose for a chance to make the playoffs. Going into this game, they had everything was on the line. I think during the game, I think the Broncos game you kind of saw was out of hand, and Dolphins probably saw they weren't going to make the playoffs. But Tyreek Hill was quiet. He had 2 catches for like 20 yards, and then going into the fourth quarter, it sounds like he allegedly just benched himself. Basically, Mike McDaniel got asked about it after the game. I believe we have a little snippet, if I'm not mistaken, Bailey, of the video post game. Let's check this out.
That he was unavailable right before a drive. I was not informed that it was a new injury, and I think at that point in time, my focus was on the players, and I didn't take the time to go try to figure out more into that. Just there was guys on the field that were competing, and we were trying to win a game, so I focus was there.
JB, for the purposes of time, I want to get your opinion first.
Yeah, I got, because shit keeps climbing on me this hourly. Now I got 2 hours, 9 minutes. I'm like, God damn, homie, that gets me there right at the time. So here's the thing, real quick. That's a little boy talking. That's a little boy.
Not a man?
Me and my boys used to say that. You little boy. The way we say it, the way you say it, that's a little boy. He's a little boy.
B-O-I.
He's not a head coach leader of men, homie. There's a reason why Tyreek Hill wants out of there. And there's so many other reasons why you fucking fall at the end of every season when the going gets tough and the weather changes and you can't win on the road and you carry yourself in a certain manner. That is a little boy who no one really wants to. People want to play that are in the NFL that are serious. I would not call Tyreek Hill serious. He's more serious about fucking than he is playing, in my opinion. I got to be honest, though. Nobody wants to play for a little boy. You want to play for a man, homie, not a little boy. You don't want to play for a little boy, Smitty. Little boy. Little boy, homie. You don't want to play for a little boy. You want to play for a man.
You know, little boy is like B-O-I. The way you say it's like B-O-I.
It is B-O-I. It actually is B-O-I. Yeah, little boy. You don't want to play for a little boy. You want to play for a man, homie, that leads you to battle. Yeah. This motherfucker walks out there. There's a meme going out. There's a picture out there with Tom Landry in a suit with the hat on the sideline for the Cowboys, and then they got Mike McDaniel next to him. If you haven't seen these pictures going around, and everybody's tagging me in it because like JB been saying this, dress different, act different. I'm like, I think it matters. I didn't say be in a suit and tie. I was in slacks, polos, Smitty, tucked in. I had my visor, still coaching here, but professional here. This motherfucker, skinny jeans, walking around, fucking open hoodie, vaping. This is a mockery of the fucking profession, homie. Like, nobody wants to play for that motherfucker. Nobody wants to play for him. And I'm just being honest. Tyreek Hill's a shitbird all to himself. I don't put Mike McDaniel's issues on him. I'm just saying Tyreek Hill's a shitbird regardless. When you want to leave Andy Reid, you're a shitbird. I think they've won every Super Bowl since he was traded to the Dolphins. I might be mistaken, but goddamn, that sounds like addition by subtraction to me. So
I think 2 out of 3, maybe.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's pretty damn good, pretty fucking good to lose that motherfucker and continue to win addition by subtraction.
Nah, it ain't just by subtract because they won with him too. So it ain't really addition. They kept the tradition.
They lost more with them. Lost more with them than without them. Oh, shit. You go look at that. They lost with them, too. So just remember, it's kind of interesting that he goes, they win. Yeah. So, anyway, he's a shitbird, dog. He's a shitbird. Andy Reid didn't need more kids to manage either.
No more little boys?
He didn't need no more little boys. And Tyreek had, I believe, 10 little boys this year. Literally and figuratively. And I think he only had like 8 touchdowns, 9 kids or something. I don't know, dog. It's just a bad look, Smitty, in my opinion. The kid is a shitbird. He's fucking horrible. And you don't want to play? Leave. You're a waste of talent, Tyreek Hill. And you've been that way since JUCO. We all knew who you were and how unbelievable talented you were. But
ain't no waste of talent now. I know you don't fuck with him as a person, and I get the reasons on that, all the stuff that he did. But he ain't the motherfucker's been one of the best receivers in the league for every single year. He's probably going to be a Hall of Famer.
He's a waste of talent, homie. He's literally showing the youth in our world how not to be, but yet that's what he does. And what he does is showing the kids how to be. This is not who you shouldn't be. But our kids look up to him and say, that's who we want to be because of how talented he is. I say waste of talent because of what he's doing every single day out there. He's selling TikTok merch instead of fucking being at practice on Friday. Sunday, he refuses to go in the fucking game. Every kid out there playing football, youth, high school, and college, look at Tyreek Hill as a fucking god because he's so talented. I call it a waste of talent when you don't meet the standard of the profession you are in. He's not meeting the standard, dog. He's supposed to take his level to another one so that other people will try to aspire to be like him. They'll never get to his level, but at least they're aspiring. Now he's dropped the level down here. Now everybody else is aspiring to be right here instead of here. This is what he's doing. This is a waste of talent. That is what he does. Waste of talents don't play games, Smitty. It's true people that use their talents to appreciate the game they're playing, play every game. They want to go in the game, regardless of the playoff picture or not, regardless of this. You know what's crazy? If he had an incentive bonus on the line to catch another 550 yards or 2 more touchdowns, that motherfucker would have been in there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, he would have played.
See what I'm saying? So we got to stop doing that. We got to take that away then.
He did play all 17 games, though.
No, he didn't.
30.
How? He missed games.
He ain't missed no games this year.
He missed games this year.
Factor cap, Bailey. Factor cap. 1 second. I was told that Tyreek Hill played.
He missed games. I could have swore he missed games.
He started in 17 games this year. That Tyreek started 17 games. We ain't talking about 2. We're talking about Tyreek.
We were talking about him earlier this year. Remember, he missed the game or 2 in a row.
We're going to factor cap it before you leave. We're going to factor cap it. But to your point, though, Charles Barkley said a famous quote back in there. He said, I am not a role model. So now I know what you're saying. Kids are going to look up to who they're going to look up to. But I don't know if that's necessarily Tyreek Hill's responsibility per se to be every single body's role model. Go ahead, JB.
That man was not a role model as he played games. You're not a role model when you miss games. I just want to be clear.
But this isn't like some regular thing, though. Like, let's take a step back. Like, I'm not defending him at all from what he did. At the end of the day, you go down with the ship. So I'm 100% against him what he did. Sitting out in the fourth quarter for apparently literally no reason. That's not good leadership. That's weak and that's soft. All that 100%. But to wheel it back in, we're talking like he just misses games on all the time. Tyreek Hill plays football now. He goes out there, he plays. He's
we're in a world that we trump things for other things real easily. We can have all this good happening, and then you do one bad thing and it gets trumped. You did something last night. He did something last night, Smitty, that trumped all good things. And then this year has been more about his kids and off the field antics than it's been about on the field. Let's just be real. If you bring up Tyreek Hill today, and I'm sure if you Googled him, it's going to come up with kids and talk about baby. It ain't going to talk about his touchdowns and scoring and
hurt. He had a quarterback, homie was concussed. Barely factor cap.
Played 17 games.
I'm a bad motherfucker. JB, man, go ahead and leave. You about to be late, man. Pack your stuff up. I'm going to hold it down. Shaun King going to join me in like 20 minutes. Fans, if you want to leave for JB, the ones who love JB's bald hairs, you do your thing. The real ones who love this show for the core and the essence of what it is and want to listen to myself, Shaun King, Eric Weddle, and whoever else we bring in, you fucking stay. I want my riders here on the show. I don't want no lame Kyle. I don't want no lame. I don't want the Fugazi fan. I want the real deal, day one, loyal to the soil fans in this chat. Jason, please be safe. Wear your seatbelt. If you get bored an hour in and want to call in, we'll let you call in. But at the end of the day, I want you to be safe, and I want you to come back and do the damn thing, man. So listen, this is what we going to do. This is the kind of break. There you go, Horton. This is Smitty's show now. We're going to change the logo to the Smitty show without JB. Put me on the big side. We're going to do a quick commercial, JB. Last word.
Hey, I'm going to jump on in the car. Joe Click, shut the fuck up. You look like the guy that tried to hack my fucking account. I'm gonna hop in the car, Smitty, and then we'll jump on. I'll jump back in, but I'm on the way to All the Smoke. I'll be on that show. What is it on Showtime?
I think like YouTube, Showtime, like something like that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna jump in the car. I'll be there. Then Weddle, Shaun King will join, and we got a lot to discuss, a lot to break down. So I'll see you on the other side. Peace.
What time did we start the show 4 years ago? What time are we doing it? How long? 4 years ago? I don't know.
It's pandemic. It was.
It was before COVID, homie. What do you mean? COVID had shit yet, homie.
Hey, look at that.
Wait a second.
I was 16 right? I lost 30 pounds.
That shit hard. Like this.
That's my ball thing.
That motherfucker was dead on me.
That motherfucker is my ball thing. That was another name too. That was a cat picture. That was a cat picture. I gotta find this. What's going on? Y'all just made me a Big Smitty, man. We got JB in the building. My man Spree. Roy in behind the 1 and 2 with the camera. And welcome to the Coach JB Show, Big Smitty live in the fucking cigar lounge. What you doing, JB? What you got going on?
Drinks, cause I'm like a bitch in this motherfucker.
JB ain't got no AEs, y'all. He been talking about this all week. I got all the lows and all the AEs. There ain't not that AE in here. Come on now.
It's been on swole. I can't wear this color shirt. You know what I'm saying? My man blows to be out there on
Big Smitty, Trail,
shit,
JB. I lived the wrong end, y'all. We turned up, y'all. It's all good. Players fuck up. I lit the wrong, I cut the wrong side.
Ah, damn, this motherfucker's drunk already.
I just smoked other cigars. I've never done this before. I'm nervous. I'm like, why this shit ain't hit?
Nervous.
Wow.
No, take that off. Cause you don't smoke it that way. Throw that out.
I can't wait till cigar. Man,
I got 3,000 cigars to this motherfucker. I'm the guy that has to do everything around this motherfucker. I'm carrying the whole fucking squad.
I got it right now. I like this side though, JB.
Yeah.
Yeah. 17. But you can't hit the big boy. I better stop playing with me. I don't smoke like that though. Everybody know that. Yeah, my mother's smoking a cigar.
I ain't married, homie. Hold up, let me finish this. I am not married. You are.
How you a leader of me?
Cause I'm not married.
You fuck everything.
Yeah, you do.
Short, S-tier, motherfucking D.
Short, fat, everything. Tall. Short, fat, skinny, and tall. I fuck them all. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, you did get hot before, JB, on accident.
That happened.
I know with you. Yeah. Can you reshare the story though? Everybody knows
everything with him.
Reshare the story, please, about the night.
I mean, I'll try to take this motherfucker to his house, and for 3 hours, we could not make a right turn. So we kept making a left-hand turn on everything.
It probably went 3 hours, but it's at least like 30 minutes.
Right.
Let's go.
It was a long time.
Motherfucker, all we can do is laugh, homie.
Smitty, I'm gonna tell you right now, his front door was where that TV is.
Right.
And this is the street. And you're in the right side passenger. Yeah. I'm right here. I'm driving where he is.
One-way street.
You're straight. Alright? He's me, you're him.
Yeah.
That's his door. That's his door.
One-way street. Right here.
It's a one-way street.
Right.
We driving right here.
Yeah.
We do not stop to get out and go in that door. He kept going and making a left and getting out on the main street and kept going all the way around the block.
Y'all saw the house.
Saw the house. His door's right there.
He couldn't seem to stop after he motherfucker hit.
That one without the switch and you driving to the hill.
He couldn't drive, homie, so he looked at me. I looked at him. His motherfucking eyes, his blood stopped red, and his head started falling back on the seat. He couldn't even hold his motherfucking head up.
I wouldn't hire you to the motherfucker saying.
Yeah.
He said,
no, first of all, we ate 2 gallons of Baskin Robbins, homie.
No.
Gallons.
At first, we had the chocolate chip cookies.
That's what
we dropped this girl off at work. She had a bag of chocolate chip cookies. We don't smoke.
Dropped off at work.
I'm like, man, you know I love chocolate chip cookies, don't I? Man, give me that shit. That shit ain't gonna do nothing.
Pretty me tell you that I only fucked the strippers, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
My baby mama.
JB fucked with a lot of bad bitches. I ain't gonna even front on that shit.
That was 30, 40 years ago.
He still, yeah.
Man, shout out to the homie Spree. Every time I see that commercial, it just brings back the memories, man. That was a funny ass night. For all y'all to tune in, y'all remember how epic of a night that was. We got to run it back. We got to find a time. I got to find a time in my schedule where I can drive out to the Slap Dick Cigar Lounge. We hit up Spree, all the homies. We pull up, play poker, and do one of those nighttime live shows again because we was lit that night. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, we was lit. But hey, man, appreciate y'all for staying tuned in. JB's gonna call back in once he gets settled in the car. But for right now, you got me, so deal with it. And like I teased y'all earlier today, man, the biggest news of all weekend. It was a lot that went down, man, in the world of entertainment and the culture world and music and TV. But on the football field, man, Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard of the Indianapolis Colts, the head coach and the GM for my Indianapolis Colts, are keeping their job. Report came out, I think it was early this morning or late last night, from a Jim Irsay put a little note out on the Colts page that we're going to retain our head coach and our GM moving forward. And I got some thoughts on this. The definition of insanity, y'all, is what? Doing the exact same thing and expecting different results. We just went 8-9. 8-9 and missed the playoffs in the AFC South division. That's arguably the weakest division in all of football. Let that like sit down with that. Let that simmer a little bit. 8-9 in the AFC South with a struggling Texas team that won the division, a horrible Titans team, and a horrible Jaguars team that just fired their head coach, Doug Peterson. I don't understand, if I'm Jim Irsay, how you can maintain both of these guys moving forward. Because think about it. When a team is bad, it's either because your players are just bad, the coaching is bad, or really that's it. I mean, I guess you could say culture can be bad, but culture kind of, I guess, falls into coaching. So, but I'll say your culture is bad, your coaching is bad, or the players themselves is bad. All those categories fall under either head coach or GM. Now, listen, me personally, I'm actually a fan of Shane Steichen from an offensive mindset. I think he's very intelligent. I think he knows the game from an X's and O's standpoint. I mean, we saw him have a lot of success in different moments during the season offensively, just being unique and come out with different ways to kind of make the game easy for AR5, or even when he had Joe Flacco would, throw between, it seemed, 250 to 300 yards every time he's out there on the field. Now, he wasn't always efficient. He would sometimes throw picks and make mistakes, but the offense was flowing a little bit more when Flacco was out in the field. So we've seen from a schematic standpoint the genius, if you will, of Shane Steichen. But the thing that concerns me the most when it comes to him, and this is just looking from the outside in, right? I'm not in the locker room. I know people around, but I'm not in the locker room, so I can't tell you for a fact that this is true. But from my perspective, Shane Steichen doesn't seem to have the intangible leadership that you need from a head coach. He doesn't seem to have the full-blown respect of the entire team. When you have a true head coach, true leader, there's a sense of fear. When I say fear, I really mean respect, when it comes down to, not wanting to let down your head coach, not wanting to make a mistake, not wanting to, let your team down and do something because you know the reaction that your coach is going to get. You know how stern and firm that coach is compared to some other coaches that we're seeing nowadays. I know JB mentioned Mike McDaniels as his example. I'm looking at Shane Steichen right now, and it's not just really them. It's a lot of coaches these days where they don't come off as being firm. And to me, as a leader, as a head coach, I get it can be uncomfortable. I get at times like it may not be in your natural personality to really yell at players or to discipline players for little things like being late to meetings. I call it little things, but really those little things are really big things because it all trickles down in football. If you're late to meetings, then that means you're late to treatment, which means you're not getting healthy, which means you're probably not watching film, which it's just also a trickle down effect. So the real great head coaches, they make the little things the big things. I remember back in college at Ball State, my head coach, Coach Pete Limbo, and listen, a lot of people have different opinions about him, but one thing about him, and he was disciplinarian. Like, he was a guy who made sure we were locked in and focused from being earlier on time for your meetings, to my strength coach, Coach Feely, Shirts tucked in before we go work out. Feet have to be fully behind the line. If there was one fucking pinky toe on the line, we're all about to run gashers, or we're all about to go run an extra couple 110s because one player out of these 100 players had their pinky toe on the line. So it was little details that as players were like, come on, coach, it's not a big of a deal. But now that I'm a grown-ass man, I understand that it is a big deal. You got to make everything matter. One thing our coach would always say is, you can't flip the light switch on and off. Basically, what he's saying is you're either this or you're either that. There's no picking and choosing. You're not going to be disciplined in one level and then you're undisciplined another level, and you're a dog when you want to, but then you're a cat when you're either a dog or you're not. You're either locked in or you're not. So bringing it back full circle to Shane Steichen, to me, he's too nice of a head coach. He's too nice. He's not demanding greatness. He's not demanding a culture of greatness. You know, even when he got asked that question earlier about it was a week ago about players being late. I know Pat McAfee had talked about players being late, and he commented on it. He was like, yeah, I mean, you know, every team players are late, which is true, right? Which is true. But I'm not worried about what he said. I'm worried about how he said it. He said it so nonchalantly, as if it just was nothing to him, that leads me to believe that he didn't discipline those players who were late. And being real, those players, one of those players that the rumor is spreading around that was sometimes late was Anthony Richardson, who's your head guy. That's your head guy. You know what I'm saying? So, like, again, that's one example of that. But again, that's my biggest concern with him. On the flip side, when we're talking about Chris Ballard, bro, like I said earlier, there's only a couple ways that team is bad. Either it's your coacher, your coaching, or the players. You as the GM, the general manager, you are responsible for putting together a collective of players that will lead to success. And you have not done that, Chris Ballard. That's just a fact. And he owned up to it. He had a little presser. He said, listen, I have failed. And I appreciate you owning up to it, Chris Ballard. But as Colts fans and Indianapolis fans and a native of Indianapolis, we are tired of hearing the same fucking song every single year. I have failed. I have failed. I have failed. Listen, we appreciate you owning up to it, but at some point when you keep failing, you get fired. Keep failing, you get fired. That's what happens in any job. I had a sales job back in the days, man. Shout out to my old company, Aegis Worldwide, amazing recruiting firm back in Indianapolis. They're in Chicago, different cities. To this day, I'm still close with the owner, the boss, a great man, great person, great human being. But it was times when I was not reaching my metrics. I was busting my ass. I'm doing all the work. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, but I was not reaching my metrics. And they called me to me and said, hey, if you don't hit this number by this date, unfortunately, we're going to have to let you go. It ain't personal, it's business. And this is me as a young man, fresh out of college, still learning the ropes. But that was a wake-up call. Like, listen, it ain't about if I like you, if you're friends, if we hang out, if our kids hang out, if we go to the bar after the game. All that friend shit don't matter when it comes to business. And I feel like Irsay keeping both Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen is he's thinking more with his heart than with his brain. Somebody has to go. Now, listen, I don't know. I ain't the owner. I'm not saying it has to be Shane. I'm not fully saying it has to be Chris, although I'm leaning more towards that way. But to keep them both here makes zero sense. It makes literally zero sense to keep both here. You're basically saying we're going to just keep on trying to do what we've been doing and hopefully something changes. And that makes no sense. The Colts will have another shitty season next year. We're going to be fucking 8-9, 7-10 next year. And then after the fucking season, Chris Ballard's going to say, well, I failed again. And we're going to just keep on doing it. Insanity. That's how I define the Colts season this year. In the last... Uh-oh. I think I hear some breaking news. That's the breaking news. Jason Brown is back, and he got a cigar and a stick in his mouth. JB, can you hear me?
Yep.
Are you safe?
Yep. The Hamases are not around me right now.
Okay. I don't want you holding your phone while you're driving, Jason, so let's make sure we safe. I had to go in. Huh?
Don't call me by my name. What?
Make sure you ask your name. I had to, Jason had to go in on my coach for a little minute. They're keeping Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen. The definition of insanity, Jason, is doing the exact same thing, Jason, expecting different results. To me, it makes no sense. Why do you keep both of them if we're trying to grow? Do you have any quick thoughts on this?
I saw your boy shake the empty seats of Pat McAfee. That's going to be interesting today, as McAfee is going to be on his show here in a couple hours, and I'm sure he's going to address that.
Zaire Franklin, man, middle linebacker, a guy who I know him loosely. You know what I'm saying? Like we met at All-Star Weekend. He did like a celebrity game at my high school. Follows me on Twitter. Like we loosely know each other. We're not friends, but we're cordial. But I know him and Pat been going pretty much back and forth for quite some time here. Pat be going in. Pat don't give a fuck. Like he's just going in on everybody in the Colts organization, and I respect it. I feel him. He has enough clout, I say, being with the Colts on our prime time to where he could go out there and say that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure he'll address that. We'll see. Man.
Yeah. First of all, you got no quarterback. You got to be honest. If you think you're going to go, if the definition of insanity, you got to define yourself. As you talk about the GM and the head coach, you just eloquently stated, you also got to say, we have no quarterback. Because if you say you have a quarterback, then that is insanity as well. So now you're going to go in with a quarterback lame duck, a head coach lame duck, and a GM lame duck. That is truly insanity. So keeping Steichen after a year, I get it. But who do you go get? I don't know if any other news has happened. I'm hearing other things with coaches going on right now that could be coming down the pipe here today, but I haven't heard if anything's broke. But who you going to get anyway? Are the Colts going to get a veteran QB? A young veteran QB? Are they going to go after a Kirk Cousins? Are they going to go after one of these guys? Does somebody make a run at Brock Purdy? Because the Niners may not be able to pay that dude or willing to pay that guy. I'm curious to see how that Brock Purdy and Niners situation is going to unfold. And if he doesn't stay, Smitty, who takes him? Somebody's going to throw a bag at him. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting in the offseason because I'm telling you what I do know. Mm-hmm. This quarterback class coming out of college will be absolutely garbage. The worst of the worst in JB's 48 years. The worst quarterback draft class in my 48 years is going to be this year. So just mark my words. There's not a sustainable QB.
You said that last year too, though.
And it will be.
So basically, saying each year it just get a little worse. Basically, like each year is a new record.
Yeah, I've been saying that for 5 years. But yeah, it's getting absolutely worse and worse and worse and worse. If you haven't noticed, just go back and look at the history of draft classes, and then just talk about it for a second. It's getting worse. Literally,
that 2019 class is rolling right now. I think it's 2019 with Sam Darnold, Lamar, Joe Burrow. Like that class is rolling right now. So I don't know.
Right now.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a couple years. That's another thing we need to get out of the habit of
but wait
expecting.
up, though. Hold on, before you keep going, and I know where you're going. Before you say that, last year though, the 19 class was garbage. See what I'm saying? Because Sam Darnold wasn't in it, and he was garbage, and everybody wanted to throw him under the bus, and he was shitty, and so was Baker Mayfield, and so were these guys.
Baker wasn't garbage. Baker wasn't garbage last year.
I'm just saying, last year, the 19 class, now all of a sudden, 5 years removed, the 19 class is back cracking.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I hear you. I mean, listen, it definitely changes. To that point, real quick, and I know this was on the rundown, but I know it's kind of more news late last week, but I don't think we touched on it fully. I was seeing reports like late last week that there's people in the league not giving Shador a first-round grade. Like, do you think realistically that he wouldn't get drafted in the first round?
Shocker. What do I know?
So you said Shador going second round.
I'm surprised you brought it up on the Colorado show. He's not, Smitty. He's not a fucking first rounder. He's not athletic enough. His arm is not very good. I told you he throws a good deep ball. He's very similar to Russell Wilson in the deep ball throwing area, but nowhere near the arm. But yet he can't get away and make plays. He has no mental clock in the pocket. He takes entirely too many sacks, which allows his O-line to lose confidence. And then he has wideouts running around. He had a great wideout room in Colorado, and he had him running around several different times that I watched Shador, where you should have got the ball, got it, caught it, and get it out. He can't do that for some reason. And I don't know why, but he's not athletic enough, Smitty, to sustain in the NFL. He's not Josh Allen. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Kyler Murray. He's not anybody. He's closer to Mahomes, but yet, as far as athleticism, but yet he's not Mahomes, arm strength wise, savviness, it factor. He doesn't even have a clue. Will he be a first rounder? I still think he's probably going to be because of his daddy's name. In this draft is. I told you the best QB clearly for NFL readiness purposes is the kid at BYU. And I don't even think he's in the draft. So I'm just telling you from that conference. So I watch him. I see the ball come out off his arm and how quick he gets it out and how great of a ball he throws. But we're not even going to get into that conversation.
You know, last year you said the kid from Notre Dame, who I can't remember his name, who all the girls like, was the most NFL ready quarterback. And we ain't talked about this man. I don't know what team he on. We talk about this man all year long. And you say he's NFL ready. This is the guy right here. He's ready. He's gonna be the number one guy. He's ready to go.
Hey, remember though, we talk about NFL ready. That doesn't mean he's gonna go in right away and play. This guy might be a guy we wait on in 2 years and be like, damn, he was the guy JB said 2 years ago. Look at this motherfucker balling. He may be the guy, Smitty, that we're looking like he might have went to the right franchise. Maybe why he's not playing. That's the thing about these guys, Smitty. I'm tired of throwing these guys in there because everybody wants instant gratification. We want to see these guys play right now because they're rookies. I don't. I was fine with seeing Mahomes sit behind Alex Smith. I was fine with watching Brady behind Bledsoe. I was fine with watching Jordan Love behind Rodgers. I was fine watching Rodgers behind Favre. That is when football was developed mentally. And now, all of a sudden, we want to throw Caleb Williams and all these guys in right away because we saw what they did in college. Let these young men learn through osmosis, dog. We're failing these kids.
I hear you. That's a good point. I gotta cut you off though, real quick, Jason, because we got our first guest and pretty much gonna be like a co-host for the show right now, man. Super Bowl champion, quarterback extraordinaire, the one and only Shaun King. Baby, show the video.
That intro is fire. That intro is so fire, dog.
Wait, Shaun, that last play was like, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Thank you. How you doing, Shaun?
I'm doing better than the CEO of the Sam Darnold fan club is doing this morning. So,
oh man, we ain't even done to that yet.
And he laid last night on national TV, fell back into all of the things that have made him unsuccessful. No,
you know what, Shaun? Fuck, we might as well dive into that, man. I know the rundown. We move things around, but since Shaun went there, let's just go there, man. It's going to be the game of the century, the game of the weekend, the best regular season game we've ever seen. Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings. It was a defensive battle for about 2.5 to 3 quarters, and then boom, the Lions took off, and the Lions and the offense, Jahmyr Gibbs had 4 touchdowns, and on the flip side, Sam Darnold went back to being Darnold. And he did it the last game of the regular season, right before the playoff, which is a horrible sign if you're a Vikings fan. Shaun, keep cooking. I don't want to cut you off. I just want to kind of set the stage a little bit for the audio fans and the listeners here. Are you concerned for Sam Darnold if you're a Vikings fan right now?
I'm concerned because that's been his Achilles heel since getting into the league. And I don't think one game makes a season good or bad. Like, he's had a really good season, so I'm not going to say that the season has failed because he had a bad game, but it also illuminated the things that have made him unsuccessful. He's a 7-year quarterback, and he played like a rookie. He does not stay calm when it gets chaotic. If the first option isn't open, he becomes skittish. His feet get out of whack, which makes his balls sail. Like, and then I told you, like I've always said, one of the listeners hit me up on Twitter. He's like, I was watching the game and all I could think about was you talking about how weird Sam Darnold is. He's got this look on his face like he's oblivious to what's going on. And I want the kid to be successful, man. But last night, to me, if I'm Minnesota, I got to really rethink any plans I had to not just pay him, but to also not see what we really have in J.J. McCarthy.
JB, you making that face right now, man. I need your thoughts. Retaliate.
God, the blasphemy in this room right now is just unhinged. Is Stephen A. Smith in this motherfucker? Is this Stephen A. Smith in this motherfucker? Hold on. So we're going to dismiss 14 wins in Minnesota when they won 7 games last year and with a veteran and all the same wideouts that are there right now. And we're going to just dismiss the fact that the Vikings have become one of the best teams in football overnight with Sam Darnold. And now we're going to shit on him and throw a rookie in there that hasn't played it down, who's again hurt, that we don't know nothing about either. Come on, man. Shaun, you know better than... Are there just Shaun Kings falling off trees in the NFL now that I don't know about?
So
are there NFL QBs that win 14 games? Are there 14 win game quarterbacks falling off trees in the NFL right now?
Don't twist my words. I said one game doesn't make a season, good or bad. I said, but in prime time, it illuminated the reasons why he's not had a lot of success previously. And don't act like this was a down in the dumps type of franchise and organization. Kirk Cousins had them in the playoffs almost every year. They've had this core group of Justin Jefferson.
Kirk got hurt last year. He tore his Achilles. And Justin Jefferson missed game last year too. Come on, JB. Don't do that. Don't gas
up. They were in the playoffs the year before.
You can't dismiss 14 wins though after you won 7 games. That's fact of this NFL is result oriented, homie. We always talk about Aaron Rodgers getting hurt and all this old shit. I didn't hear all that shit. Every time Lamar Jackson get hurt, fucking the Ravens are shitty. So don't tell me it doesn't matter. So this guy won 14 games after they won 7. This is the NFL. We don't care about who got hurt and all that old shit.
But you can still be honest about what you see. I'm glad you brought up Lamar Jackson, probably 3-time NFL MVP. And yet, when people talk about his career, what's the first thing that comes up? He got to win the big game. They got to get it done in the playoffs. Yeah. They don't talk about all the regular season statistics that we saw Saturday. A very, very good job of showing the graphics. They don't talk about the MVPs. They talk about, can he get it done when it matters? So Sam Darnold, good job this year. That's what I said. One game, good or bad, to me, doesn't overcome a whole season. But that's been his Achilles heel. Jared Goff made the throws under pressure, didn't panic. Sam Darnold panicked and didn't make the throws.
I'm going to be honest with you. I look at it at a macro level, not a micro level. He won 14 games. I'm not going to judge him on one game because he had a bad game. I will judge him.
His best year was 7 wins coming into this. He's been in the league 7 years. Don't act like he's a guy that goes everywhere and wins.
Well, damn. I mean, so the franchises he was at don't mean nothing then. Come on, man.
The Niners are damn good.
Stop.
Also, Sam Darnold was the number 3 overall pick, Jason. So yeah, when you're number 3 overall pick, you're gonna go to a bad franchise. But the thought is that I'm number 3 overall. I'm going to help change the franchise, not make the franchise worse. Joe Burrow would drive to the fucking Cincinnati Bengals, who are abysmal, and he turned the Bengals around in Mitch this year. But he made them a relevant team, a relevant franchise. So what I'm saying is, when you're really like that, you change the team that you own.
Yeah, he's the 3rd guy. So the first guy is Baker Mayfield. Is Shaun going to talk about him being on 5 different teams too? And has done shit his whole career? Has done shit his whole goddamn career?
Baker was a piece with the Browns.
Hey.
The most loaded Browns team. The most loaded Browns roster.
Baker, we trust. Baker got the Browns and the Bucks to the playoffs.
Hello.
Put Sam Darnold in Cleveland with that roster. Put Sam Darnold in Cleveland with that roster. They win a goddamn Super Bowl.
He be seeing ghosts in
Cleveland. On himself.
He be the ghost of Christmas past in Cleveland.
Smitty, Baker Mayfield shitted on himself on the best roster in football.
Baker and Darnold were on the same team together when Shaun King was there, I believe, and Baker outplayed him and took the job from him, homie.
I'm talking about Cleveland. Y'all keep talking about Cleveland, homie.
How you gonna diss one player when they're on the same team and that player outworked and beat him for the job?
Cleveland.
Nah, fuck Cleveland. I'm talking about Carolina, homie. They on the same team, homie, and Baker outplayed them and beat them for the job.
Stop talking about Carolina. We know they're not a goddamn playoff team. You keep mentioning Cleveland on the most loaded roster in football that year.
The Browns are cursed. The Browns are cursed. Outside of Jesus Christ himself going to play quarterback for the Browns, they're cursed. And secondly, don't you ever say Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield in the same sentence. That's not even a close comparison. Not one of any 32 teams, including the Minnesota Vikings, would take Sam Darnold over Baker Mayfield. In Baker, we trust, baby. The dollar bill has him at the bottom. In Baker, we trust.
They almost lost to the fucking Saints yesterday. Stop.
Almost.
Anyway.
The Vikings did lose. They got mollywopped. And a lot of it was because of Sam Darnold throwing the ball into the fucking first row of the stands.
Against a bad defense with 1,000 injuries on the defense, he's playing against the backups basically and still couldn't score points.
Lost Terry Arnold during the game.
Why is Smitty saying non-factual evidence on this show, on the realest show?
They got a lot of people hurt.
Detroit got half their guys back, homie. Detroit's back. Detroit's back.
Bailey, factor cap, Bailey. Factor cap, Bailey.
Hold on.
Factor cap, Bailey.
They got Anzalone back. That's it. They didn't get. They didn't get a bunch of people.
And they lost
Yeah, they lost.
I love factor
Big
cap,
back.
JB.
That's a
Thank you
big
for
guy.
I love factor cap. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
hold on. Anzalone's a huge piece of the middle. What are you talking about?
It ain't fucking half his pieces back, homie.
Man, everybody has blitzkrieged the Lions except the Vikings last night.
Can I talk about that real quick? So, before we throw Sam Darnold under the bus, how about we throw the head coach under the bus, who, if I recall, Brian Flores, as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, fired as his OC when he took the job. He said, hey, Kevin O'Connell, you're going to have, all right, not Kevin O'Connell, sorry, Ben Johnson, you got to go. Ben Johnson, you're fired. And Ben Johnson has held that against Brian Flores for a very, very long time. Brian Flores got out-coached last night on defense. On defense.
No.
Did Ben Johnson not ice and dice Brian Flores up last night?
The Vikings played as good as you can play against the Lions for 3 quarters on defense. They had stymied the Lions' offense for the most part.
Shaun,
what happened was
did you see
the
the
Vikings
game I watched? Did you watch the same
Vikings-
game? So Jahmyr Gibbs going crazy and they had no answer for him, and that was
Hey, he
blown
went-
up into weapons. You couldn't stop Jahmyr Gibbs. You couldn't figure a way to stop Jahmyr Gibbs, but you could stop St. Brown. Come on, man. That was being out-coached on defense. That was clear and cut. Ben Johnson said, you know what? I'm going to make you stop Jahmyr Gibbs, and he couldn't do it. That's getting out-coached.
It was a 17-10 game into the third. They put up 17-9. They put up 14 in the fourth after the game was over. The problem was the Vikings inside the 10 3 times in the first half. Came away with 3 points.
Bingo. There you go. Hit the nail on the head.
And I saw Justin Jefferson wide open and Darnold throw the ball out the end zone. I saw T.J. Hawkinson wide open and he threw an uncatchable ball. I was watching the game objectively.
Oh, somebody wasn't. And to that point, to JB's point though, real quick though, while we're on the topic, Jordan Addison, I don't know if you guys saw this, his father actually went off on Twitter about Kevin O'Connell and the team after their loss to Detroit. Basically with this tweet here saying, what did he say? 6 targets, 1 reception, 0 yards. I want push-ups. We say I want push-ups, the plane ride back nonstop. The defense needs to do that. What do you say? The defense needs to do them with you for allowing Gibbs to get 4 touchdowns. Also, Kevin O'Connell can't do them with you because he got out coached.
But see, hold on. Before Bailey takes that graphic down, how is that Kevin O'Connell's fault? Jordan Addison wide open. That's on Sam Darnold.
Look, all I know is this ain't high school, Smitty. I could give a shit less what Addison's daddy say. Fuck that. Get out of here. Shut up. Go fucking watch a game somewhere at the house, homie. Stop talking about like this is high school Addison daddy. You said that shit at USC and everywhere else too. You're a helicopter daddy. Shut the fuck up. Number one, this is a fucking NFL. This ain't Pop Warner, motherfucker.
You would not say it to his
Shut your
face. If
ass
he
up.
was on this show right now, you would not have that same energy at all.
Shit, you're crazy as fuck. I tell that motherfucker straight up. This ain't high school Pop Warner or youth football, homie. It's the NFL, son.
might bang
know
on you,
damn
too.
well. Parents, stay the hell out of your goddamn sons' professional careers. They're a 14-win fucking team, homie. Stop. Get the hell out of here. Jordan Addison's had a great, phenomenal fucking third year or whatever it is. Stop. Anyway, Shaun, can we talk about...
Hold on, JB, because I was going to piggyback what you said.
JB,
Now,
I'm not going to put that and post it and tag him. Go ahead,
I'm
Shaun.
not going to be disrespectful to Jordan Addison dad directly, but I am going to say, as you talk about, you look at things macro. Where'd you learn that in economics class? Parents, get out your feelings. Addison's had a great year. He's got 9 touchdown catches, almost 1,000 yards on a 14-win team. The quarterback had a bad game. Like, I think this is out of line for Addison's dad to attack Kevin O'Connell. Because to be honest, he's done a tremendous job of getting Addison into situations to be successful this year. So get out your feelings, Rolando. I'm not saying it disrespectfully. I'm saying it with a lot of respect because I know it's emotional. But that was on Sam Darnold last night. Even the screenshot you put up, how is that Kevin O'Connell's fault? Addison's wide open. It's Darnold's job to throw in the ball.
So let me ask you this then. Shaun. We're in the playoffs now. NFC side, like, are the Lions the clear-cut best team on NFC?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So you got Philly.
I'm glad.
No, I don't think that's a clear-cut team.
Oh.
Hey, can we stay on the Vikings? Because I'm glad you brought that up. I want to ask Shaun before I get out of here. I wanted to ask you, the Vikings are fucked, man. They're all a great year, and Sam Darnold comeback player, or if that's even a thing, or a great year, whatever he is, whatever year he had and the team had. They got to go now to LA, right?
I believe so. Here, yep.
They're playing the Rams in LA, and the Rams fan base, to Shaun's point last week, is starting to wake up. We're getting a lot of Ram fans now here in LA. This is about to get ugly. This is about to be, like Bubba Sparks said, super ugly. Because Stafford's about to wear their asses out. And Minnesota's is going to have a problem beating a Super Bowl battle-tested, seasoned, wily veteran coach, Sean McVay, with the Stafford and that wideout core and a defense that's starting to get pressure on the Q. After what I just saw that Sam Darnold faced with pressure, the Rams are going to do the same damn thing. And they get four pressure with Versey and the other kid, Versey or whatever, and the other kid. I think the Rams are going to give them problems, and Minnesota's going to be one and done after a phenomenal year, and then we're going to throw Sam Darnold under the bus even more. Shaun, to your point, this is the NFL, and it's similar to the 12-team college football playoff. Penn State got the luck of the draw. Oregon got fucked. It is what it is. You got to win the games, Smitty's point. But, man, I think the Rams can make this a one and done for Minnesota, and that's going to be the worst-case scenario for Sam Darnold moving forward.
I think everybody in the NFC has a chance to actually make it to the Super Bowl except Green Bay.
Ooh.
Because Jordan Love stinks. Jordan Love stinks right now. And everybody else can get hot and make it.
So you wouldn't be shocked if, like, let's say Jaden Daniels, the Washington man, he's a rookie. He makes it to the Super Bowl in his rookie year. You wouldn't be shocked.
Look at their path.
Yep.
I mean, who knows what Tampa gonna show up, especially on defense. Like Tampa made Spencer Rattler look like Drew Brees yesterday.
Right.
So, I mean, who knows? And then if they get, I mean, they could beat the Eagles. Who's playing quarterback for the Eagles?
I think Jalen Hurts, he'll be back.
But now a guy that already don't throw the ball consistently in rhythm is playing a game after not playing for almost, 3 weeks, 4 weeks now?
3 weeks, yep.
Yeah.
About 3 weeks.
And then listen, I don't care what anybody says against a good quarterback, Detroit's secondary is vulnerable. There were guys open. Remember the throw down the middle to Hockenson in the first half?
First quarter, yep.
Yep.
The first throw of the game, if he puts that ball inside, Hockenson finna run for 40 yards. He throws it on his back hip.
And that's a
Hockenson ran an out route
change.
on third down. He threw it out of bounds. Like, he just struggled last night. Now, I'm not saying
he struggled.
Yeah, I'm not saying he can't bounce back and have a good game against the Rams, but last night he struggled.
And to your point, it does make you nervous, though.
And you know that a tight end missed in that first quarter is a game changer for a QB. You missed that ball high, and now you're second guessing your mechanics the whole rest of the game. And that ball right there is put on the tight end's numbers. He runs for 40, big first down, momentum changes. That might be a scoring drive. Sam Darnold's whole night could have been changed, and that's a 300-yard night and a win. You never know. That one throw is what quarterbacks live and die by, and now his mentals were all fucked up because he sold one to a tight end that should never have been missed. So I agree. That's just how quarterback play is.
I'm telling y'all this, though. The Lions are sitting here. They're hoping the Vikings can win against the Rams, though. They don't want to face the Rams. I'm going to tell you that. They do not want to face the Rams. They do not want Matthew Stafford coming back to Detroit. I know they played each other last year in the playoffs, but you guys remember it was neck and neck. Like this game was right here.
And game one this year. Game one this year. The Rams should have won this year. Game one.
And they're way better now than it was game one. And they're getting healthy at the right time with Puka and Cooper Kupp back. That young defense is flying around. The Lions do not be, to Shaun's point about any team like on the NFC outside of Paris could make it to the Super Bowl. Listen, y'all, I trust Sean McVay a lot. Do not be surprised if you see the Rams in the NFC Championship at least. I can see that happening for real.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm telling you, Green Bay's the only team, in my opinion, that doesn't have a chance. Something's wrong with Jordan Love. Nobody will acknowledge it. I've been saying it for about a month. He is not playing good football. Don't look at the stats. Watch the game. He's not playing good football right now.
Can I ask you, Bailey, I don't know what the scenario was. Did Green Bay need to win for jockeying last night for some sort of position? Because what I understood, they weren't going to move up or down, right?
Yeah, they're playing for seeding, I think.
Yeah, I'm
like
not sure.
where would they have gone to with the win? Because my question is, if we're not going to play certain guys in games that mean nothing, like Stafford in the Rams game last night meant nothing. They locked down the 1 seed, the 3rd seed overall, home field advantage for the first week. You got the Buffalo Bills. You know, Josh Allen played 1 snap to keep his deal alive, and then came out or whatever. That's why would Jordan Love play then? That was my question to Shaun, because we've seen him. Something's ailing with him, and I'm curious. If he thought that there's no health issues, obviously that's the head coach playing him last night, then Shaun and I are wondering it's got to be something else. Because if he's playing, he's clearly healthy enough to play, then there's something going on. Because Shaun and I are in agreement. We've been watching this dude. He looks hurt. He looks hurt to some degree. I don't know what degree. I don't know if it's mental, physical, what, but he's not Jordan Love that we saw midway through the year.
He's not throwing the ball with any confidence. Like, I can tell when a quarterback's aiming the ball and when he's just letting it rip. And he's aiming the ball, especially on downfield throws. And he got hurt again yesterday. They had to bring in Malik Willis. So I don't remember the exact thing. It had something to do with, I think, them in Washington and who was going to get the 5th seed as opposed to.
Yeah, it was. You're right. Yeah. Because going into yesterday, because, you know, my brother, basically, Sheldon Day, played for the Commanders. And it was a chance the Commanders was going to come out here to play the Rams if the Rams would have won last night. So it was a lot of, like, moving around. So you're right, Shaun. I think it was that 5th seed positioning with them. But, you know, it all played out differently. So, man, Shaun, I do want to switch gears here a little bit. Man, we talked about it a little bit before. And JB, like I said, if you got to go or stay, whatever. You know,
I'm in traffic. It ain't moving right now, so I'm good for a minute.
But okay, I want to talk about, you know, it's Black Monday, as you call it, and you know, I'm sure we're gonna be hearing more news as the day and as the show goes on. But some of these teams, so let's start here. The Patriots are moving on from head coach Rod Mayo after this one year. Obviously, he was the handpicked successor to Bill Belichick, and he's going one and done after, you know, Robert Kraft anointed him last year. I guess, what are your initial thoughts on here? Or is there any surprise that after 1 year he's already let go? Going to you, Shaun.
Something's going on that we don't know about. And this is just, it was kind of one of them things like, we're going to fire you and not put it out so that you can go somewhere else and be a DC. That's the only thing that makes sense. Because you could have brought Newt Rockney back and you were going to start Jacoby Brissett. They weren't going to win no games.
Right.
I got a different take. I think that early in the year, we were picking on Gerard Mayo as how he was leading this team. He was trying to be hard ass. He was trying to do that. I was on board with it. I was like, I like it and all that. He's doing a lot of Belichick. But then we saw what he was saying and doing when he cut off Belichick in a sense and said, I don't really need your help. And I'm sitting there like, that's going to bite you in the ass, dog. The humility part of this game and profession is going to bite you in the ass, Gerard Mayo. And I like the guy. But at the end of the day, Robert Kraft is literally, and this is my gut instinct telling me, if I hold on to him for 2 years and be shitty, I'm going to look bad, and badder for losing Belichick. I got to let go of him now and start this thing over again. If I hold on to him, I'm even going to look worse for getting rid of Belichick and holding on to another guy. I got to go right away and try to get Mike Vrabel, who I think they're going to get. And I think Vrabel will be the head coach of the Patriots, and I think that's what they're going to do. So that's just how my gut on Robert Kraft. It's all about his image, ego, and his weirdo ass, you know, getting tugged up in a Thai barbecue. So I'm just saying that's just what it is. I don't know if that's not it or not, because at the end of the day, you would at least, like Shaun said, keep it for another year because you have zero weapons on offense whatsoever, and you got a really good quarterback, I think, who shocked us on his rookie performance. I think he's a guy that's going to be a little Josh Allen-esque going forward. Big strapping guy that can move around a little bit and got a big time arm control. I'm willing to see him. I like
Drake May.
I'm eager to see what he does with a real, you know, foundation. I'm curious to who they bring in there. And Ben Johnson's another guy they're going to bring up to work with Drake May. I promise you right now, you're going to hear that name. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, can I say something? Because this is a problem that exists in this coaching profession. And this is to all the athletic directors in college This is to all more so the general managers and the owners of the National Football League. When you hire a guy to be your head coach, allow him the space to do it his way. I am so sick of them hiring Antonio Pierce and Gerard Mayo and these type of guys, and then telling them who they got to bring in an offensive coordinator and telling them what old school coach they got to have on the staff as a consistent. And if you don't listen to this retired coach and he tells me, we're going to fall out, you're going to lose your job. Like, let those guys do it the way they want to do it. And if it works, cool. If it don't, then they got nobody to blame but themselves. I'm so sick of that in coaching.
Yeah,
Nah,
I'm with you on that 100%.
Yeah, I'm with you 1,000%, man. It's like, if you're going to trust in me to be your leader, then trust in me to lead then. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm with you, and I'm interested to see who they bring in. JB, you saying you trying to say something? I think he's freezing up a little bit. We'll get him back when he can. He's probably losing signal on the road, though. But staying on the topic of kind of coaching right now, man, I went on a little rant earlier, Shaun, about my Colts, man. And them, Jim Merciless came out saying they're going to keep Shane Steichen and keep Chris Ballard. And basically what I said was the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. I'm not the owner, so I'm not saying which one needs to be gone or if they both should be gone, but there has to be some sort of change. You can't have this season we just had going 8-9, had a season we had prior, which we missed the playoffs too, and then go into this next year and just assume that everything's going to just get magically better. So, to me as a fan, a longtime Colts fan who grew up with Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck, and I was spoiled with being in the playoffs, like guaranteed pretty much every single year, unless there was like a crazy injury. Now we're in the space of looking like one of the worst organizations and a really bad division of AFC South. How do you maintain your GM and your head coach going into the next year? Like, what are you telling? How do you motivate us fans and even your team when you're not making no changes at the top? So it didn't make no sense to me, but maybe you can make it make sense to me.
So you're talking about two different job responsibilities here. So here's how I evaluate both of these. When it comes to the GM, what's the overall level of talent on our 53-man roster comparable to the teams that are competing for championships? And when the GM's been there, Ballard's been there, 5-6 years?
Been a little minute now, yeah.
He's been there, multiple drafts, multiple free agencies. When you look at the Colts roster, for as long as he's been there, are they talented enough? That's his number one job.
Right.
I would say no.
I say no.
I got to move on. Yep. Shane Steichen in year 2, we brought you in because at the time you were coming off of a Super Bowl loss to Kansas City.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts had played the best game of his career. We thought that you would be the guy to develop a young quarterback. As Anthony Richardson goes into year 3, has he gotten better in your opinion?
No.
Or is he the same injury-prone, inconsistent guy he demonstrated all his time at Florida? Because that's why we hired Shane Steichen.
Yep. Same guy.
When I'm looking at the Colts, it's hard for me to say, okay, we keep paddling this boat down the river that we're going to get to our destination with these two guys. Fair or unfair, Ballard's been there long enough for the roster to be better than it is. Shane Steichen's number one job was to develop Anthony Richardson.
Facts. 100%. Now listen, I'm a little bit more leaning. If I had to pick one, I would rather see Ballard go because what you said, he was there longer. He had more time to build the team. And to your point, looking at the roster, we look solid. We cool, but we're just average. We're not, someone who can compete with the top teams. And we see that every time, or last few seasons. Shane Steichen has shown me in flashes some creativity that he can do with the offense. The reason why I give Steichen a little bit of a pass is because, I really just think Anthony Richardson is not that good. I think you could bring in whoever you think. You can probably bring in Andy Reid, and honestly, I don't know how much better they'll be, but probably a hair or two. But just at the end of the day, it's the Jimmys and Joes, as JB likes to say, not the X's and O's. And I think we just don't have the guy to do that. I wonder if we bring in a guy who's maybe similar skill set, but maybe a little better. What do we see something different? You know what I'm saying? Now, who would that be? I don't know. I don't know if Malik Willis is that much better. I'm just thinking out loud. Justin Fields maybe comes in.
Was Shane Steichen the head coach when they drafted Anthony Richardson?
He was.
So you stuck with him.
Yep.
If I'm the owner, you picked him. Matter of fact, you overdrafted him. People were shocked that Anthony Richardson went that high because as I told people, I want the kid to be successful. He's a fraternity brother of mine. Shout out to all the noobs watching the show. Happy J5 yesterday.
How far? Yeah.
He's the same kid you watched in Florida. Plays a Heisman caliber game to open the year versus Utah. Gets inconsistent, gets hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's the same guy. He has not changed, evolved, adapted, pivoted at any point since he got to the University of Florida to now. He shows flashes of brilliance, then he becomes inconsistent, then he gets hurt.
It's literally that same exact.
Yes, that's his career as a quarterback. And so my thing, if I'm the owner, I'm Jim Irsay. Well, hold on now. Y'all told me y'all could get this kid right. I'm not going to blame the kid now. It's y'all job, right? That's where accountability needs to come into play if I'm these owners. If you're going to tell me that Zach Wilson is the guy, then y'all better develop Zach Wilson. Y'all will not draft another quarterback.
Right.
Like when they take these kids and they overdraft them early, I hate that then the kid gets blamed. Anthony Richardson did what anybody else would have did if they got their name called the top 10 by the commission. He got up, put the hat on. Hey, where the private plane at?
Yeah.
Right? The accountability has to start going on the team side. And I say that because in this year's draft, don't overvalue and overrate these prospects because of need. It's unfair to the player.
And to that point, you know, staying on that draft kind of conversation, we were talking a little bit about Shador right before you came in, and some reports came out, I would say late last week, that there's some people in the NFL saying they're not giving him a first-round grade. So when I saw that, I'm like, like, is there a world where Shador, or all the talk going around about him going to the Giants or the Raiders, being a top, 3 pick, is there a world that he slides and goes and gets drafted in like round 2? I don't see it. But I'll say this, I actually think it would be to his benefit if he did get drafted like late first round, early second round, ended up being on like one of those decent teams, kind of like a Michael Penix situation, I would say, where like maybe he sits behind a veteran for, half the season, even a full season potentially, and then gets thrown out there. Because I don't think, listen, I'm a fan of Shador for sure, but I don't think he's a guy that like we could just put him on a horrible franchise and we're going to just let him change the whole score. I don't see him being like a Joe Burrow, basically what I'm saying. I don't see him being even a CJ Stroud to an extent. I see him being a guy that's like, put the right pieces around him. He's smart enough and talented enough to where, he could lead them to wins in that environment, in that situation. I don't think you can put him in a bad situation and count on him to go out there and just win games. But that's my opinion, Shaun.
Here's my early evaluation of Shador Sanders. Really good college quarterback, really good college player. But when I am doing my evals on what translates to the National Football League, I'm going to compare Shador to Drake May. Drake May is slightly bigger. Drake May is significantly faster. Drake May has better arm talent than Shador Sanders. He had flashes of brilliance at North Carolina, but he was nowhere near as consistent from a production standpoint over his college career as Shador.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he plays the same kind of game as Caleb Williams. And that's the part about Shador that worries me, because he's not an elite athlete. He doesn't have elite arm talent, but he has like this kamikaze outside of the lines playing style. If he played like a Drew Brees or a Tom Brady, meaning that he threw the ball in rhythm from the pocket on time, I think Shador could be a transcendent player.
Yeah.
Because I think now his football IQ, his intelligence, his toughness, he is really tough. It would benefit him and help him. But the fact that he doesn't play that kind of game, when I watch the film, it's not all the O-line. Some of it is he not seeing it.
He holds that ball forever.
He's not processing it fastly. And that worries me about him, because look at how Caleb Williams has struggled.
Yeah.
Shador isn't nearly the athlete Caleb is, and he doesn't have anywhere near the arm talent Caleb does. So now you put him in one of these high-pressure situations without support, and I don't know what the success rate looks like. But he's going to get drafted in the top 5 because shout out to Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, whatever you want to call him. That brand is basically unstoppable right now. That brand has so much power. Listen, if Zach Wilson was drafted in the first round, if Kenny Pickett was drafted in the first round, Shador's better prospects than those guys.
Right. That's true. That's the fact, man. JB said that, he says all the time, we know how he feels about quarterback, but he said he thinks this year is going to be the worst quarterback class in his 48 years of living. You got another guy who's supposed to go top 5 as well in Cam Ward. What's your thoughts on Cam Ward? You think he has a higher trajectory at the next level than Shedeur?
I think he's more talented than Shedeur. I think if we just made a list 1 through 7, quarterback attributes, he's just as tough. He doesn't ever really get hurt. He takes the contact. So that's kind of like Shadeur's biggest asset to me. I mean, Shadeur's biggest asset. I think I know Cam's got better arm talent. He's a better athlete. They're about the same size. He was really productive at Washington State. Like, he didn't win at the level Shedeur did at Jackson State, but if you go by Shadeur's 2 Colorado years and Cam's years at Washington State and Miami, they're very similar. So I would say Cam's probably the better prospect from a talent standpoint, but it's just something about Cam Ward. If he doesn't change, I don't trust. I just think he is Will Levis in a lot of ways.
Will Levis in a lot of ways. Looks like Tarzan plays like Jane?
No, I just think that his style of play and his lack of a speedometer for when and where.
Okay.
To try and become Mahomes. With the sidearm the back, it's got a lot of Will Levis vibes. Like, if you ever, I don't know, a lot of people watch the Titans. Levis will have 3 series every game when he looks like the next coming of the top young quarterback in the National Football League.
Yeah.
Then he will have another quarter and a half where he's doing everything to get everybody in the organization fired, including himself. And I can just
it's got to be mental, right? It has to be.
I can see that being Cam Ward because of his style of play.
Got you. Man, that's the funny. I saw Bailey in the background cheering on. He's a big Will Levis guy, so when you said that, he was loving it at first. But no, that's a good point, man. And speaking of Will Levis, Tennessee got the number 1 pick right now, which I did not know that. Honestly, I did not know this was the order. So it'd be interesting to see what they decide to do. If they trust their guy, if they're gonna go out here and get somebody else. Who knows? We know Cleveland's gonna keep Deshaun. That's what they said, but they might want to start some competition there. Giants need a QB. New England should be good. So it's a lot going on. And one of the teams we see is Jacksonville, number 5, who just fired Doug Peterson earlier this morning. That's official. I'm not surprised. A lot of people, I know Doug Peterson is looked at as a good coach, Super Bowl champion. We know all that, but for whatever reason, his tenure with Jacksonville has not been successful. Who do you think, just out of the top of your head, who you think is the right fit for Jacksonville? Like, who would be the guy that you can put with a Trevor Lawrence and ETN? Because they got some weapons over there now. Brian Thomas, they got guys. Who you bring over there that can really get this team on track?
So for context, when we talked about the Colts,
remember
I said, when I'm looking at the GM, what's the overall level of talent on the roster? I think Jacksonville's got a relatively talented roster.
Yeah.
The linebacker from Kentucky, the DN from Georgia, the Trayvon Walker.
They got like a
get the linebacker name. He changed his name. Yeah. They relatively, they got above average talent. I said, when it comes to the head coach, if you're an offensive guy, and I brought you in to get the quarterback better. We paid Trevor Lawrence. Has Trevor Lawrence gotten better under Doug Peterson? No. Is that a Trevor Lawrence problem? In a lot of ways, I think so. But I still got to blame somebody if I'm not getting the results that I want, because obviously I don't have the right guy. It'd be one thing if Trevor was on a Josh Allen arc, meaning he looks like the next great thing week in and week out. We got to get better around him. Trevor's got good players around him. They added Gabe Davis. They drafted Brian Thomas. What's the little kid from Arizona that got hurt this year for them? They gave a whole bunch of money a couple years ago, receiver. They got Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby. I mean,
they got a lot of cats. Let me ask you this then, man, because you can speak on it better than anybody. Because I'm thinking about Trevor Lawrence right now, how great he was at Clemson, and they thought he was going to be the next, like, Peyton Manning, the next guy. They were talking about him sitting out his last year in college just to get ready for the league. Like, he was one of those highly touted recruits, right? What's the biggest, I guess, difficulty with the transition from college as a quarterback specifically to the NFL. Like, and why do you see Trevor Lawrence struggling? Because he has all the talent in the world. He can make any throw pretty much. He's athletic enough. He has the size. He's the prototypical quarterback that you would want to see. Yet he's still struggling with all those weapons. What's the reason? I don't like what's going on.
So let me say this: the preview doesn't make the movie.
He's spinning right now.
The preview just makes you want to see the movie, right? But you're not gonna get a movie a grade until you go sit down and watch the movie in its entirety.
Facts.
They paid Trevor Lawrence based on the preview. So now the movie don't have to be any good because you already gave him the bag.
Yep. That's deep.
A large part of his problem is he's already gotten the second big contract, the $60 million per, and he had not earned it.
So are you saying not to cut you off? Are you saying, in your opinion, that Trevor's like, shit, I got paid, so I'm chilling? Like he not putting in the work? Or
it's very hard to be self-critical when they give you that kind of money before you've earned it, because obviously the way you're interpreting it is, I've arrived. I'm that guy.
Right.
Like, okay, I'm here. You know, I don't really got to listen to this, listen to that. I don't worry about this, that. And I'm going to play through this ache, this pain. No, I would have never paid Trevor Lawrence. I'd have kept him hungry. I'd have kept him with a little chip on his shoulder. You know, I made him feel like, you know what, the job not complete. Like, your resume is not final. You can't submit it to us yet.
Right.
Like, that's a big mistake. Like, you see Brock Purdy, you see how he rebounded the last 2 games of the year?
Yeah.
After struggling, he started thinking about, now think if they'd already played Brock Purdy, he'd have shut it down in week 11.
Right.
But he ain't got paid yet, so that hunger's there. That desire to still show people I'm great, to put better things out there on film when it's not easy. Like, he still had it. They paid Trevor too early.
I agree with that, actually, 100%. But let me throw another angle, though. Because I feel like me, and I don't know, I've never been paid that amount of money, so I don't know what I would do. But this is my thoughts because of how competitive I am. I've always been this way. I hate to lose probably more than I love to win. As a competitor, though, let's say you get paid that big bag. What was it, 50 million, 55 million, whatever the case may be with Trevor Lawrence?
Mm-hmm.
On another side, though, wouldn't that almost put added pressure on you to feel like, damn, they give me 55 million? Like, I need to get right. Like almost opposite. Like, I need to work more. I need to show them I'm worth 55 million. I need to prove to this franchise that they made the right investment in me. So I need to go out here and win games. Like, to me, that's the angle as a competitor. I would be more on that side than the side of, oh, I made it. I'm good. I'm chilling. Like, damn, like, it's still football. We still out here. You got teammates counting on you. You got coaches' jobs are at stake. Let's be real, depending upon how you play. Like, so much, the quarterback has so much power at the NFL level. You know, call it fair or unfair. This is what it is. If the quarterback plays bad, people lose their job. That's just
Let me ask you a question. Could the Jacksonville Jaguars have done to Trevor Lawrence what Carolina did to Bryce Young by benching him after they paid Trevor Lawrence?
Hell no.
Okay. Look at what that benching did for Bryce Young. It gave him a couple weeks to kind of reevaluate, do some self-inflection, and he handled it the right way. And now look at him. Changed the whole arc on the narrative around him. You can't bench a Trevor Lawrence once you give him that money. The owner going to look at you like, damn, Bobo the fool. Hold on now. These checks still got to get signed by me.
Right.
So you kind of handicap the developmental process. It's also hard for an athlete. Let's be honest, man. When somebody tell you worth $60 million a year, it's really hard to get coached after that.
Man.
Because you're not going to take accountability. When you miss a throw, it's going to be where the right tackle didn't get his block. The receiver was a yard short. You know, it's hard to be like that.
Every time the code yells, you're gonna check that account. You can put that little pin, put that code in. You have $55 million in your account.
And I will say this, especially for a quarterback from Clemson University.
Ooh, what does that mean?
Because of the way Dabo runs his program, his star players are generally very coddled, incubated, kept away from negativity, not allowed to be involved with, anything that's outside of the strict culture that Dabo has created. And that's not a knock, that's just facts.
They're in a bubble.
Look at the mental toughness of Deshaun Watson. A lot of people question it. Look at the mental toughness of Trevor Lawrence. A lot of people question it. What are they both? Clemson quarterbacks. So it's just a part of it where You know, look at DJ. Look how long he got at Clemson.
Yeah.
And we really wasn't playing good.
That's a good ass point.
I don't think he's ever rebounded from the fact that Dabo and them didn't hold him fully accountable for his deficiencies and shortcomings early.
Now that he's getting it and they don't know how to act. That's a good point. I never even thought about that, man. Something to kind of dive into more, though, for sure. Staying on quarterbacks, man, but switching gears, man. Aaron Rodgers threw his 500th career touchdown. He is the 5th QB in NFL history to accomplish this. After the game, he was, kind of hugging, the reporter and just kind of being humble as far as this possibly being his last NFL game. So he's going to talk to, I think, the owner and Woody Johnson and kind of figure out what the future may hold. So we should hear something shortly. But let me ask you, should this be Aaron Rodgers' last game? Should he retire after this season?
I never tell a player they should retire. I mean, there's a finality to retiring that, you can't bring back. Like, it's not like boxing.
Right.
Where Gervonta Davis says he's retiring, Floyd Mayweather retired for 2 years, come back. Football's different. When you walk away, it's kind of like you got like a certain few guys like Gronkowski and some of those guys that maybe could come back and spot play, but, it's over. And if he wouldn't have played well Sunday, I might really believe that he was walking away. But the fact that he threw 4 touchdowns and now he can go into the offseason with that film, he still ended up throwing, I think, 30-plus touchdowns over the course of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so.
He got to his 500th touchdown pass. Like, I don't think he went to the Jets for any other reason than to try and win a Super Bowl. So I think if there's an opportunity for him to go somewhere on what he thinks is a contending team, then he'll take it.
You know what's crazy? I mean, I looked at the stats. He had 28 touchdowns, 11 picks, and threw for 3,800 yards. And that's a really bad. That's a whole bad year for him.
Right.
For a lot of QBs, it's like that's a cool little year. It's not as bad. But the Jets, again, it's about expectations. And you hit the nail on the head. He went there to win a Super Bowl. They thought the Jets was one quarterback away, and I think that was a misevaluation by all of us, all the analysts, by their own staff. We based it upon the way the defense looked the year prior with Zach Wilson, but the defense didn't look that way this year. So I know I point a finger at Aaron Rodgers, as again we should, as the leader, and he definitely had some bad games this year, some really bad games and bad decisions. But it wasn't all on him, for being honest. That defense was not the same defense as it was last year. Those weapons wasn't the same weapons as last year. I actually want to see him play like one more year, man. And maybe I got a soft spot for Aaron Rodgers as a fan who just remembers the Green Bay's days. That's still like fresh in my mind. And like you said, to end the season this way, throwing 4 touchdowns. And again, you look at his numbers, it's not that bad. 28-11, 3,800 yards on a contending team could actually be solid. Like if you threw him, just for example purposes, if you threw him on this Vikings team, I think they would be decent. I think I'm not saying they'd be better than they are now with Darnold. I'm just saying a team like that with roster and pieces around them would be decent. So I don't want to see them go out bad. So, like, I don't know what the team would be, how many opportunities he will have as far as, like, options of what teams to go to. But I would love for him to just finish his career off in the playoffs at least, make a wild card. If you lose, cool. But at least, like, you had a decent last year to a phenomenal Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Fame career. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at.
I'm going to defer to Ryan Clark on this one. Ryan, do you want him in the playoffs?
I don't think Ryan wanted the playoffs, man. Hey, that's a beef this year that I did not expect that was going to happen.
The level of employee crime going on at ESPN is unbelievable.
It's going crazy over there. It's going crazy other places too, but I'm keeping those things.
We ain't talking about that. Yeah, we ain't talking about that.
I got bills to pay, Mr. King. Roof over my head. So yeah, man, I'm with you though. I think he should keep things going, keep things rolling, but we'll see. Let's dive into one more before we go to our second commercial break. Before we go to that last hour, but
hey, can we go to the commercial break first? I gotta let the little one out.
Oh, of course, do your thing, man. Cool. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Commercial break, y'all. We'll be right back at about 5 with more of the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. Don't go nowhere.
What up, man? This is a proud new sponsor of the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty, and it is First Round Performance. Yeah. Make sure you head on over to firstroundperformance.com.
We got the merch, the gear. They are top-notch company.
High quality, JB. All about the quality here. Workout gear, exclusive gear. What's that right there, JB?
By the way, nobody else in the country or the world has this short right here. You can put this short on. It helps your back. It helps your hamstrings, helps your quads as you work out.
What?
You can wear these right underneath your workout shorts or what have you. It's kind of like a girdle, but very, very comfortable. Shorts Against Syndrome. It's SAFS. Go head on over there and check it out. First Round Performance.
JB, they got workout bands. They got ankle weights.
What's this?
What's in that box?
Yo, kind of good.
It's our first time seeing this.
What's this?
I'm nervous. What's that?
A 40-yard dash electric timer. You can go get your workout on with the light and the strobe, the whole deal. FirstRoundPerformance.com.
Oh, you just turned it on, JB.
Bam.
You want that smoke?
Go check it out.
I know you ain't trying to race me,
I might
JB.
race Smitty and smoke him.
You ain't trying to race me. You scared of that life.
Yeah, this is real deal. You guys got to go check it out. FirstRoundPerformance.com. Head on over there. Proud new sponsor of the Coach JB Show.
This is nice, JB.
With Big Smitty. And
this is mine, right?
hell yeah. Listen, their premium gear, including the revolutionary SAFS shorts I just showed you, are expertly designed by a leading orthopedic surgeon to align your hips and relieve your pain. It is trusted by athletes and active individuals alike, whether you are pushing your limits with their high-quality resistance bands, as Smitty just showed you, or boosting recovery with the powerful dual-spectrum red light therapy devices that I just showed you. First Round Performance delivers the tools needed to stay at the top of your game. Whether aiming for peak performance or simply wanting to live pain-free, they've got you covered. Visit FirstRoundPerformance.com or shop on Amazon today. They just launched their AmazonStore.com, their Amazon store. This is out there, First Round Performance on Amazon. And so go help them out and grab some performance gear today. And please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions.
Yes, sir.
Go First Round.
Go First Round, baby.
The promo code will be Coach JB. So check that out and head on over there today.
Get right, baby. First Round, the highest quality.
First Round Performance. Go get you some merch.
Ooh, I like this shirt. I like this shirt, JB.
Peace. Mina Kimes has come out and said yesterday, I don't know if we have a video on this, Bailey, or not. I should have asked you, but Bailey does have the tweet, and it says, do we have the video, Bailey? Can we get the video so everyone knows what she's saying? My bad, Bailey. I put Bailey to buy a spot on that one. We should have had the video because this wasn't a discussion, but I wanted to bring it up.
Bad coaching. Bad coaching.
We're going to bring it up with Noel, though, on the big board. So I want to give everybody some context that doesn't know. That Mina basically came out. All right, Bailey's gonna find the video, and I basically came out and said that they're making quarterbacks check the ball down because of all the too high safeties that was being played, and it's at an all-time high. We've never seen this much too high. I mean, dog, I can't do it much longer. I'm just gonna be real with you. I can't do it. I tagged Dan Orlovsky because I'm tired of dealing with him. Take a listen to a video.
I think there are a couple things, Laura, that stand out. One, you got a lot of rookie quarterbacks playing, and historically, rookie quarterbacks have always struggled out the gate. I think a couple of those guys that you mentioned have been struggling for a while. Deshaun Watson, Bryce Young, Kirk Cousins, obviously, with the injury. But another thing I think that's pretty significant is the way defenses are playing offenses, which is to say, basically daring them to either run the ball or check it down. In fact, In week 1, defenses played with light boxes against the run at the highest rate since NGS started tracking the data 8 years ago. They played too high shell coverage at the highest rate since NGS by a pretty dramatic margin. And because of that, you'll see here, the average depth of target for quarterbacks was the lowest it's been in years. Not just the lowest, though. It's been trending down for a while. Took a sharp turn. I mean, we're talking about a full yard down since 2019. So essentially, defenses are making quarterbacks into a bunch of checkdown artists.
Based upon, because this is my first time seeing the video, based upon what she said, it sound I know enough about her to know she's very, like, she goes based upon stats and like
what the teleprompter says.
No.
Be honest.
This ain't no teleprompter read.
Yeah, it is.
No, this is not.
She's definitely reading. Look at her.
This ain't a teleprompter read.
She's reading.
This is from her researcher.
No.
Let me break it down to you. Every talent has a researcher for themselves.
I know.
They go in, they let you know what the topic's going to be for that day of the show. They ask the talent what's their just overall opinion on said topic, and then the researcher feeds them with enough information to back up whatever they're trying to do. So Mina probably went in and said, I feel like these QBs are they're not throwing the same amount of yards that they've done in the past. Give me as much information you can give me to back up that point. And they gave her actual probably numbers and stats that backed up the fact that last week they played that defense at a higher percentage than they've done in a while. That's how I'm reading it. I don't think she's saying that they've never played cover 2 shell. That's never no. I'm reading that like she's saying based upon actual literal statistics and numbers, this is what the data is telling me. I just want to start there, but go ahead.
Listen, Smitty works at Fox. He knows how this thing works. He knows the inner workings of this thing.
And you do. I mean, you've been around. So
but that doesn't mean what she said is fact. Bottom line is she's a statistical nightmare. She's living off teleprompters at her boss. And I'm going to say what Smitty just said and call it her boss. What I mean by her boss means whoever's giving her the information to read is all she does. That's all she does. She literally, I don't know. Listen, I might come off and sound crazy here, but I'm going to be honest. Has anyone ever gone to the clinic? Coaches, have you guys gone to the AFCA?
I know who you're talking about.
Have you guys all gone to the AFCA clinic or the Glacier clinic and went out and sought out the fucking Asian female to talk to her about coverage, quarters, and cover 2? Has anyone in this chat, any coaches out there, have you guys sought out? Have you guys gone after the small Asian girl? That can I go find the small Asian girl to break down cover 2 for me? Coach Davis, have you ever done that? I'm asking a question, dog. I'm asking a question. No, I'm just saying. No hate. I'm just throwing a question out there. I haven't seen it. I've never seen it. I've never seen going out and asking the girl about quarters coverage. But anyway, listen. Having said that, she literally just came on ESPN and on a huge network, and they allowed her to say what she said. And look at my tweet. God damn. Can someone please shut this up? She is embarrassing to listen to. Mina, you know nothing. You are repeating data from your boss's teleprompter, as Smitty just eloquently said. 2 high safeties have been around far before you, Mina, and far after this stupid-ass take.
Yes, sir. We are back. I had to rinse my face off. I had some eye boogers in my face. Y'all ain't even tell me on camera. I had to rinse my face off a little bit. But we back, man, for the final hour, man. About 30 minutes. E-Dub, Eric Weddle's going to be joining us, man, to close out the show as well. So make sure y'all stay around. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, subscribe. Become a member today, man, so you can join our Discord. And make sure y'all tap into the other channel as well. JB said he has some thoughts about some other stuff on there. So y'all stay tuned. We're going to keep this train rolling, man, with me and my OG Shaun. Before we leave the Aaron Rodgers topic, man, there's actually a video of him talking post-game about his future that I wanted us to kind of listen to and respond to. So check this out.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know, Rich. If I did, I don't know that I'd tell you. So I will say that out of respect. But truthfully, I don't know. I'm looking forward to those conversations with Woody and Christopher and Jaime and Phil and anybody else.
Yeah, man. Sound like we'll hear his decision. Hopefully, I would say in the sooner rather than later. He says that he didn't want to like really hold them up, so we'll see. It's gonna be an interesting offseason, I'll say, not just for Aaron Rodgers, but just for a lot of teams and decision making. You talked about earlier, Shaun, about the Vikings kind of being in a unique position where depending how the playoffs go, let's say the Vikings go here and they lose first round. You know what I'm saying? It's like as great as a season they had to lose the last game against the Lions in the way they did, and then let's say they go lose in the first round of the playoffs. You gotta look at your QB room like, damn, man, like Darnold had a hell of a year, but when they needed him the most, he fell short. And we got this rookie who we just drafted, first round last year, and JJ McCarthy, who, let's be real, before he got hurt beginning of the year, they were leaning towards kind of going all in on him. At least that was the word on the street. There was the rumors around across the media. So it's like, and I know you're actually a JJ McCarthy guy, if I'm not mistaken. You're a guy who says that you believe in him a lot based upon what you've seen and you heard. So it's going to just be a lot of just interesting decisions to be made, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm kind of excited a little bit to kind of see who ends up where.
I don't think Minnesota would be an option. I think if they decide not to offer Sam Darnold a contract he's willing to accept, JJ McCarthy is the next move, no brainer.
Yep.
To me, I view that snippet of the post-game pressure differently.
Talk to me.
First ballot Hall of Famer, whether you like or dislike him. Aaron Rodgers is a first ballot Hall of Famer without question. But he's not Tom Brady. To me, a lot of that press conference was, I'm going to see what kind of golden parachutes are out here for me. Is Fox going to come offer me $30 million a year? Or ESPN or Amazon or whatever the 65 networks that NFL is on. Right.
Netflix.
Right. And what are my options going to be post football? And people want me to call games. Does McAfee, want me to be a full time, contributor? I think that to me, that's what that sounded like. Let me see. Am I the guy yet?
Let's see what the market is. Let's see what the money talking about. Let's see what's out there, and then I'll make my decision.
If it ain't right, then I tell them, I threw 4 touchdowns in the last game. I'm still got some good in me. I'm not gonna show up for any of the OTAs. I'm probably not gonna be there for training camp, but I'll be there week 1.
Yeah, when you need me the most. So exactly, man. I wouldn't be surprised, man. I would not be surprised. Let me get your opinion on this. Bailey, I'm gonna move around a little bit here. We talked about Tyreek Hill earlier to kind of open up the show. We didn't have you on earlier, so I want to give you the chance to talk about that. Tyreek Hill, I think he went 2 catches, 20 yards, and he ended up basically bitching himself, I think, in the fourth quarter. Coach Mike McDaniel came out, got asked about it after the game. He said, listen, I was told right before a drive that he wouldn't be available. It was not due to a new injury. He just wasn't going to be available. And then Tyreek Hill got asked, about his future and pretty much said, I'm opening the door. And then he said, I'm out. And then he was going back and forth. But in essence, he basically said, I'm out. And then he tweeted out later on that night, kind of thanked the Miami community and the fan base for welcoming him, but says he needs to do what's best for his career. To read exactly what he said for audio listeners, Tyreek Hill tweeted out, love Finn Nation, blessings. Y'all open the doors for the Hill family forever. Nothing but respect and love. I want to ask you this, 2 questions. One, just your thoughts or reactions to just that whole debacle to end the season with Tyreek. But then 2, more importantly, where does Tyreek Hill end up?
Well, I think what this says is he's making it crystal clear to the Dolphins that this is not about money.
Mm-hmm.
This is about me trying to win another championship. And as much as I like Tua, y'all should have never gave Tua that money because he's not available at a $60 million a year level. And I'm damn near not going to go out here with Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, that ain't about to work.
That's what that tweet was. And so he's giving them ample opportunity. Okay, start making calls, start figuring stuff out. We got free agency to draft. I won't be here next year.
Yeah, and I think he just signed it. Didn't he just sign an extension or not an extension? He did. He had some sort of contract negotiation right before
they redid something. They did something. But this ain't about money. This ain't about money for him. He got the bag when he left Kansas City, so he got the bag. This is about him as a competitor being in a situation where he wants to pursue a championship. And he knows he can't do that in Miami.
Yeah, and he won't do it. You know what I'm saying? You can't count on Tua, unfortunately, with his health issues. Even when he is healthy, he's a solid quarterback. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't see him leading that team to Super Bowl.
I'm glad he got his money. If I ran the Dolphins, I wouldn't even thought about giving him that kind of money.
Yeah, you know, it's the standard and the bar was so low in Miami because how bad they have been that they finally, you know, reached the playoffs and they had a quarterback who was just halfway decent and they got excited and they just threw money at him. It's kind of like if you a guy who grew up and you never really got girls for real and then you finally get one that's decent, you just fucking just throw it all at her. It's just like whatever you got because you ain't never had it before. I feel like that's what just happened with Miami Dolphins. Now they're shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And what's interesting is he won't improve under Mike McDaniel because they're too alike.
Yeah, I talked about this earlier. He's too much of a friend. You can't be a friend and a head coach. You can't.
Yeah. Like when Tua plays bad, instead of going in there and like really, you know, getting on Tua, not in front of the team necessarily, but in the quarterback room.
Yeah,
and let's address like what we got to do better. He just go draw up more emotions and more exotic plays.
Exactly, man. To your point, that brings you back to years ago with, you know, Brian Flores, you know, and Tua came out kind of afterwards and was giving him hell. But to me, Brian Flores, it sounded like he was he was the leader, fucking head coach. I'm going to hold you accountable. So that's my thing is too, though, man. Like, and obviously Mike McDaniel's coming back next year. I think the Dolphins already came out and said we're going to keep Mike McDaniel. We're coming back with him. But let's say they have another down year next year. And let's say Mike McDaniel does get let go at some point. They gotta be real. Like I feel like they gotta coddle Tua. They gotta bring in a leader they gotta keep leaders around him that's gonna just baby him. Because obviously if he has an actual real deal, old school type vibe, grown ass man in there in that room, he's not gonna be able to handle that. So I don't know, man. I just think it's a soft culture in the Miami Dolphins facility. I'm gonna be honest.
I agree. And Tyreek knows that, and Tyreek knows their ceiling is not high enough in that division conference.
Yeah.
To put the work in that it would take to beat Tyreek Hill. So he just letting them know, man, look. And listen, you asked about where it could go everywhere. Tyreek Hill fit in every offense in football right now. It's not one place that couldn't use Tyreek Hill.
I want him in L.A. with the Chargers. I think him with Herbert, he needs another weapon to go alongside Lab McConkey, who I'm a big fan of as well. They got a great defense over there, great leader in Harbaugh. They got a solid enough run game, kind of run by committee. You give Herbert, who has one of the biggest arms in the league, a Tyreek Hill to stretch the field. I think that takes them from being a really good team and playoff contender to a Super Bowl contender next year if you get a Tyreek Hill over there. That opens up the offense completely, and that makes them extremely dangerous. Obviously, they're talking about him going back to the Kansas City Chiefs, which, of course, we saw what happened with that, him and Andy Reid and Mahomes. So we know what type of situation that could be, and I would not be surprised. But if it's not going to be the Chiefs, for me, I want to see him in L.A. with Justin Herbert. I don't see Herbert with that type of receiver. We know he had, Keenan Allen, who's great, and Mike Williams, really good. But those are a different style of receiver. Those are big guys, big body, throw it up and get it. He never really had this amazing speedster who's so dynamic, who do a lot with. And I think Justin Herbert, man, it'll put him in the MVP conversation. I think you get Tyreek over there with him next year. So that's my best destination for him.
I don't disagree with that at all. I just think he fits everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not one team you're going to he makes the Bucks elite. He makes the Eagles, even though they got AJ and Devontae. There's nowhere he could go where he's not elevating the offensive capabilities.
Yeah. Nah, that's a fact. He's so
that good.
Yeah. Nah, he's definitely that good, man. Switching gears here, man. So Browns GM Andrew Berry announced that quarterback QB Deshaun Watson suffered a setback in his Achilles recovery. The team was informed yesterday about the information, and the impact on his 2025 season remains a little uncertain. I'm gonna just ask you straight up, man. Is Deshaun Watson done? To me, he is. To me, stick a fork in him. Even before this news of a recovery, I thought he was done mentally. We saw how great he was before all the allegations, everything came out. After the allegations, he's been complete opposite, different quarterback, and there's been no signs that he's going to ever bounce back. The Browns has, to me, a pretty good team, really good defense. He's had weapons in Amari Cooper, and he's had, he has. I think he just played with Judy. I think he played with Judy. Running game. He's had everything that you thought you would need as a quarterback, and has yet been a complete failure. This will probably go down as one of the worst contracts in NFL history. I know that he's, I guess, agreed to restructure his deal to somewhat help the team out a little bit, which is cool, it's commendable, whatever. But I think he's just done. I think after the allegations, and to your earlier point, now that I'm thinking about this, Shaun, you talk about when you get paid that bag, it's hard to stay motivated. The man got $230 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed. It's hard to fucking get up at 5 a.m. and go, run around and do some gashers and do some passing drills when you got 230 M's in your account. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at.
So it's two different ways to look at this, and I'm gonna start with the organizational way first. And I'm not an expert on all of the caveats in the contracts as they pertain to injury, but I do know the term injury settlement is something that we're very well aware of. Cleveland restructured some of Deshaun's remaining money so that they could spread it out upon his release if necessary. Maybe they're setting this up as a injury retirement, injury settlement type of situation. We'll see. To kind of find a way to get him out of the building and not completely, decapitate their cap. Because they got to find a game plan that they can present to Myles Garrett at some point here in the next month and a half, 2 months, or he's going to be Tyreek Hill and be tweeting out, "Thank you to the Browns fans. I want to trade." Yeah. The other way to look at this, how tone deaf can Deshaun Watson be? I mean, how tone deaf can you be to know the narrative and the energy and the temperature surrounding your name in Cleveland, to then post multiple videos of being on vacation with your girl while the team is still scratching, clawing, competing, your brothers are still out there landing on the line, and you're posting all kind of wonderful pictures of water, you, her. I got no problem with you enjoying your girl.
Margaritas, pina coladas.
But when the next thing that comes out is Deshaun Watson suffered a setback in his Achilles recovery. Maybe because he's not in the training room every day getting the best treatment possible. Maybe it's because he is somewhere walking around when he should not be. Like, he's just one of the most tone-deaf guys that I've ever seen, that I've actually heard is a pretty good dude if you get to know him.
I heard he's a great human being. Right. A great personally. Like, I can't speak on the actions or whatever, but like as a man, like talking to him, being around, they say he's a good dude.
He's just completely tone deaf. Like, even if you went on vacation, why would you post it? And the season's still going on.
He posted or did his shorty post it?
It don't matter. Y'all are a thing. If she posted, you posted it. If you posted, she posted it.
If they posted it, he posted it. If you in the video, you posted it.
Y'all are together. Like, and then this comes out, a setback in his Achilles recovery. Man, he just so tone deaf.
Is he tone deaf, Shaun? Do he just not care?
No, I think he's tone deaf. He cares.
Think he care?
There's no human being walking the face of the planet that can endure the criticism that he's endured since COVID, and it not affect you. You can see how it's changed him.
He can't be tone deaf though, bro. He got like, to me, this is beyond tone deaf, because like, to your point, to me, this is just stupid. I'm not calling him stupid. I'm saying the decision is stupid. It don't even make sense. There's no, like, you can take anybody in this situation, and you have some common sense to be like, nah, we probably should, man, let's keep this low key, baby. Like, let's not put this out. Let's not show that we on vacation. That's not. My team is still playing right now. My Achilles, I just re-injured it. And then also, what's the setback? Like, was it something he did? Is he out? Are they hiking on vacation, Shaun?
Does it matter? Tone deaf means I'm going to post something that has no positive outcomes anywhere.
That to me, he don't give a fuck.
Right.
And sorry if your kids around, I'm cussing. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, he just don't care. Like, to me, that's what it comes down to. Like, to me, it's beyond, because tone deaf is like a pass. Tone deaf is like he's not aware of what he's doing.
I think he's tone deaf. I think he's incubated him. Remember, I talked about Clemson quarterbacks now.
Yeah, you said it. Yeah.
I think he's incubated himself into a very small circle of people. I would not be surprised if Deshaun watches very little TV and no radio, and probably does not get involved on the internet outside of posting pics with his girl.
So you said he don't even hear the noise?
No.
That's interesting.
But he feels it though. But then I think he's a guy that shows up for a Cleveland game as a quarterback and can't figure out why every sentence is filled with vulgarity from the Cleveland fans.
Well, walking around like what?
Why don't they like me?
What did I do? Boo! What the fuck did I do? Damn, bro. And to all you clowns in the chat, I said I don't know him. I say he seems like a good dude. Yeah, like
listen, I'm not getting involved in all this stuff happening I wasn't there. I wasn't in the room. What's going on? Listen, I try and stay out of people's personal business. I keep it strictly football, unless you do something real weird.
Yeah, I keep stuff strictly football too. I tell everybody business myself as well.
It's a good way to stay employed.
Yeah, it's a good way to keep your lights on in the house and the water on, keep the water running, for sure. Man, let me dive into this a little bit more as well. So, another topic here, man, and I think you had a video, babe, if I'm not mistaken, kind of going the college route. PJ Fleck rowed a boat, Minnesota head coach here. We had our famous segment, Real Talk or Jaw Jacking, and there was an interesting response here from PJ Fleck after he was asked how he's grown as a coach over the years. Let's check this out. One second. Babe's getting it ready. We got video coming. Hold on, here we go.
As a young head coach, you want to control everything. You think you can control everything. You think you have to control everything. And then you think you do control everything. You really don't. And control is for amateurs. That is probably the greatest thing that I've ever learned. I mean, we went out to dinner as a staff yesterday, and there was 100 people there. I kind of looked around, and I was like, how did at one point think I could control this entire organization or think that I was the most important piece of this? And everybody had to wait for what I said to do well. I think as the longer you go, you know that you're the leader of the organization. You set the tone and the message. You need to be the example of the culture 24/7. But other than that, you got to hire really good people and trust them that they're going to do their job. And I think that's where I've grown the most is allowing our people to have the control to do what they need to do the best they possibly can.
Real Talk or Jaw Jacking, brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you go to BetUS right now. Use promo code Coach JB. Is that real talk or jaw jacking? You actually coached at the college level, so you understand this better than anybody. I would say I have not coached yet. I've only been on the other side as a player. Is what he says, is that real talk or jaw jacking, Shaun?
So that's 100% real talk. Maybe one of the most honest answers I've ever heard from a successful college football coach. Now, I don't know if there's action behind the enlightenment, but let me give context. I know a lot of people in the coaching profession, a lot of guys. When I got out of coaching in 2020, there was not one person, and I'm talking upwards of 14, 15 people, we're talking Western Michigan and Minnesota, that had worked for PJ Fleck who liked him in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Said he was a dictator, said he's the worst person to work for in life. So when I sit here and hear him talk about how he's changed and finally understanding that first of all, he can't control everything. Second of all, he doesn't need to. And thirdly, this thing will still run if he wasn't here. That's growth. Now, I don't know if there's actionable change behind it, but, man, he had to change. He was losing good assistants left and right because people just didn't want to work for him.
I did not know that.
Yes.
He was labeled as a dictator is what you're saying.
Dictator, self-centered, everything revolves around me. Don't nothing move in this building unless I say so. Micromanager, one of those guys, like fingers everywhere. Like people hated working for him, even though they were successful on the field. And to hear him say that, maybe there is some self reflection there, and that's good. And it's good that he said it publicly. I just hope it's action, behind the words. But that's a lot of growth.
Let me ask you this, though. Let me push back a little bit. I mean, because you mentioned people hated working for him, but they were winning. So it's like, okay, and I always say two things can be true, right? But in this situation, it's like sometimes your leaders are frustrating or annoying, whether it's a leader as a boss at work or you're captaining your team or your head coach or a lot of teammates I had, I'll be honest, were not fans of my head coach. I had Pete Limbo at a time, and I ain't gonna say no names, but we had a lot of players who was not a fan of him for multiple reasons. But to his defense or to his credit, he was winning. We were winning. We were disciplined. We were detailed. We were, we improved year to year. So it's like, it's like on one side, we say my method isn't right in terms of like a great working environment, but it's also leading to us winning. So I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know what the exact question is for that, but it's just something that, like, I don't know. I'm just looking back at my life and my experiences on the field and stuff like that. It's like sometimes my best leaders were not always the most friendly or the most easy to work with or the most whatever the word you want to use. Because PJ Fleck, I played PJ Fleck in college. When I was in college, he was at Western Michigan, and he turned that program around. They went from like, I want to say they might have went like 1-11 or 0-12 one year. It was some crazy record. And then in the next 2 years, he had them, I think, undefeated and had one of the best running backs in the country. And they were in a big-time bowl game. Then he goes to Minnesota. Then they level up and they win. So as much, I know pushback. I know JB gives them all the time for how he dresses and the khaki pants and the row the boat. I know that can get kind of corny. I get all that. But the results are the results. And they have been pretty damn good since he's been there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I think you're talking about two different things. You're talking about an adult to teenagers and young adults, and then you're talking about an adult to adult relationship.
I see you. Okay.
Football team has to have accountability across the board, right?
Right.
A coaching staff, if you hire me to do a job, then allow me to do the job. You don't have to micromanage me like I'm some 17, 18-year-old child. Like, you don't have to class check me and see am I sitting in the front of the class. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to tell me when I can eat. Now, you know what I mean? Like,
I get you.
If you hire me as one of your assistants, okay, set the guidelines, what are the expectations, and then let me go do my thing. Otherwise, you made a bad hire. And so people were getting burnt out working for him because he was a micromanager. He was also a very self-centered person. And you can already tell he's intense. And then just because he want to dress like that, now what the hell, I got to go out there, looking like goddamn Willy Lump Lump.
Oh, he was telling people how to dress?
Well, you look at their sideline. I mean, they khakied up, shirt tucked in,
Ain't no do-rags, and I'm just playing.
you can tell a lot when you look on the sideline about the temperament of the head coach.
Everybody had on khaki capris with some Skechers on and a pullover.
Right. And one of the greatest things is as the contrast between coaching in college and coaching in the NFL. In college, you get on that pregame bus, it better be silent.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you can't hear, nobody can talk, your headphones better not be loud, nobody can hear them. Man, you get on an NFL bus headed to an away game, man, come on, we in full conversation. Oh, my God. Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't experience the NFL like, because you were absolutely right. I remember, I'm thinking back, we on the way to, if anybody's talking, that means you ain't focused.
Right, you ain't focused. You ain't locked in.
Front. Shut up, Darius. It's like, damn, it's tense on that bus. It's
the NFL bus not like that, no.
Let me ask you
First of all, we don't all even go to the stadium at the same time. They got like a 4-hour bus, a 3-hour bus, and a 2-hour bus. Depending on some guys like to get there super early and go sniff the grass and walk the stands. There's some guys they want to get there right at 2 hours, get taped, boom, boom, boom on the field. So first of all, we don't even go as a team. Could you imagine missing the bus to the stadium in college? Oh my God, you might not get to play.
You better. That's the only way to make that shit work. Let me ask you this. What about after a loss in the NFL? Is it silent on the bus then? Or are y'all allowed to not allowed, but like, is it looked down upon for y'all to talk after a loss?
Nah, it ain't like that. It's not like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like that.
Y'all make so much damn money. I guess it's just a different scenario, a different scene, That's crazy, man. I love getting a real authentic NFL story because I ain't get a chance to make it. So I'm like, man, it's just definitely a difference between the two. One topic I want to hop on, I know we're going to get Weddle going to join us here in a minute. Mike Evans, another season of 1,000 receiving yards. He's etched in history. This is 11 consecutive seasons. I think he matches Jerry Rice, if I'm not mistaken, with this record. He made it on it was like end of the game, like 30 seconds left, and they gave him one ball. It was kind of a cool moment. Everybody cheered. He got hyped, ran to the sideline. This is, in my opinion, this is special to be talk about consistency. This is the definition of consistency. And to me, that's what leads to greatness. Mike Evans doesn't get enough clout, enough attention, enough praise to me as being a top tier wideout in his NFL. He's kind of quiet. He's about his work. He's not out here really bragging and bodacious. Like, he just goes out here, works, and every single year, it don't matter if he has Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, Jameis Winston, or anybody in between, he's going to get you 1,000+ receiving yards no matter what. Whether he's injured a game or two, he had hamstring issues earlier this year. I think he missed a game or two. Still got over that 1,000 mark. You as a Tampa Bay Buck Super Bowl winning champion and quarterback, what's your thoughts on seeing a guy in your uniform, etched in history?
Well, first of all, he's the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
He's the first ever in the history of the National Football League to have 1,000+ yards receiving his first 10+ years. First to ever do it. Now, Jerry Rice has the most, which is 14.
Okay.
And I can see Mike playing another 3 years. Absolutely. But here's a point about this that I want to give some props to and credit to. This speaks to the quality of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization.
Yep.
What the Glazer family has created there. And when I played, the dad, Malcolm, was still alive. Now the boys are running it. Jason Light's the GM. Todd Bowles is the head coach. I want a hat tip to the Tampa Bay Bucs organization because there are a lot of organizations in this league that wouldn't have done that. For those that don't know the situation, he needed 85 yards receiving coming into the game. The Bucs had stopped the Saints on 4th down. They were up, I think, 8 or 9. It was maybe under a minute left in the game. Your normal kneel down, Saints didn't have timeouts. They brought Mike in. He had like 81 yards or something. And motioned the trips and threw him a little out route on 1st down so that he could potentially get over the 85 yards and reach the 1,000-yard receiving record, which cost the team some money because there was a bonus attached to it. But for his legacy and his resume, it was deserving. Mm-hmm. And so hat tip to the Bucs for doing the right thing, understanding that, man, there's life after football. And I think Saquon Barkley, unless Philly wins the Super Bowl and he's the MVP, is going to look back at not participating in Week 18 when he had a chance to break Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing yards record. He's going to look back at that as a mistake.
You know what, man? That's a hell of a topic that we didn't even have on the rundown, man. But I've been having mixed feelings about this, Shaun, man, because I understand the big picture, right? And I understand, like, we always think about worst-case scenario. Saquon goes out here in a game that doesn't matter, high ankle sprain, whatever situation may be. Now he's out for the playoffs or he's not healthy in the playoffs. They lose. They'll look at the head coach, man, with the side eye, like, why would you play him? And it's all bad news. But to your point, man, you got a chance to make history. This record by Eric Dickerson has been around for, 30, 40 years, something like that?
Yeah, Dick played in the 80s, right?
Yeah, in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? And people have gotten close. You know, Adrian Peterson was a hair away. CJ, Chris Johnson, Derrick Henry. He had a few small selection of guys who've gotten kind of close. But I feel pretty damn confident that Saquon would. He needed 101. He can get 101, especially against the Giants. Think about that too. Like it's crazy when things get set up so perfectly and magical. You're going against the New York Giants,
who didn't want you, they value you,
who let you go, who tried to disrespect you. I feel like we saw the little Hard Knocks and draft edition, and they tried to air his phone conversation. He didn't even know he was getting recorded. I think he said when they were doing that conversation, and to break the record against your old team. That would have been incredible. But shout out to Saquon for being extremely humble, though, and extremely, extremely selfish, Shaun. I got to that.
Listen, because he don't know no better.
Talk about it.
I'm sure in his mind, he probably is like, well, we're going to go ahead, we're going to win a Super Bowl, then I'll come back next year and break it next year. And what was so impressive about it was even in less games, he was still 30 carries behind ED.
Right.
So as long as it didn't take him more than 30 carries, even the amount of games didn't matter because he had less rushing attempts.
Right.
So here's where it matters. 5-6 years. Let's just say Philly doesn't win it this year. Saquon has some good years in Philly, but nothing close to this. 5-6 years after he stops playing, he wants to get a marketing deal with this company. It just hits different if your agent can say he's the NFL's all-time single-season rushing leader.
Right.
When you go to the basketball game and you sit courtside, it hits different.
Yeah.
Hey, that's tonight's game. We got Saquon Barkley, the National Football League's all-time single-season rushing leader. You stand up and you give him the Olympic wave. It hits different. I'm just saying.
It do hit different, but they can still be like, he's one of 9 players in NFL history to rush for 2,000 or more yards.
They're not gonna do that. They're just gonna tell the cameraman Saquon Barkley at the game. They're gonna pan over. You're not even getting the PA system.
What they gonna say, Shaun? What they gonna say now? What they gonna say?
Oh, it's Saquon Barkley at the game. Who he's sitting with. Yeah. Put the camera on him during the next time. No
energy or nothing.
No. No.
Oh man.
It hit different.
It do hit different. It do hit different, man, for sure. It's funny you mentioned, Mike Evans. Kind of go back there real quick about him getting an extra incentive. There was another storyline too that went down with the Cowboys. Cooper Rush got benched, and I guess, and I don't have the specifics right here in front of me, but long story short, there was some sort of big contract incentive to where if Cooper Rush would have played, he more than likely would have reached that incentive. They asked Jerry Jones after the game, like, did he know about it? Jerry Jones said, I had no idea about this.
Whatever.
Y'all brought up. So you're not believing it. So real tall jaw jacking. You say he jaw jacking.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to big up the Bucs. Many organizations ain't in business of losing money.
So you saying Jerry Jones for sure knew about the incentive for sure?
100%. If he didn't know a limb on the tree,
that
he's the root of, they knew.
Somebody knew.
Absolutely. Somebody went to McCarthy. Hey, let's see what we got in Trey Lance. You know what I mean? Cooper came. We're gonna bring him back as the backup. They might not even told McCarthy we don't want him to hit the incentive, but in their mind, it was like, we could say that $750.
Yeah, man. Damn. Man, nah, you probably right, man. You probably right. It was kind of unfortunate. I'm like, man, you got your backup quarterback. Like that money and incentive for like a guy like Cooper Rush is a huge deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That changed his life a little.
Man, I think Geno Smith picked up like $4 to $6 million in incentives based on some stuff he had to hit against the Rams that he hit.
Really?
Yeah.
I was at that game last night too. He was definitely out there looked focused. He was out there taking.
He was locked in from the beginning.
He was taking it serious, man. I actually think we got a video of the Cooper Rush or for Cooper Rush real quick. Let's go ahead and play. I think from Jerry Jones.
Did Cooper Rush's contract incentive play into him not playing today? If he
I
played
didn't even
55
know about it. I didn't even know about it until I read about it. So nothing at all. Those incentives are in there for the team, and we put them in there so that if someone is, in his case, as a backup quarterback, has to play, they've got the financial incentives, but they're usually put in there because of people representing him, and they should be. So he did really earn some pretty serious incentives this year.
Go back. Go Go back and look at Jerry Jones' eyes when they asked him that.
Let's see.
Like,
let's
just
see.
watch his eyes. All right, go Bailey. Right to the beginning. Watch his eyes.
Let's see. Let's see his eyes. Oh shit. Oh, right there.
You see how he looked down?
He looked down, trying to get his thoughts together.
Yeah. Okay. How am I gonna present this so that it don't come out as complete and utter BS?
Yeah.
And then watch how smart he is with the wordplay. Like, you got to give Jerry credit. Jerry and Bob Aaron to me are like two of the most unbelievable like sportsmen in the world, because they both old as Jesus and they still like cognitive abilities are like top shelf. Yeah. Jerry Jones said incentives are normally put in by his representation. Meaning that these agents, they put these in there and we gonna show them, yeah, we appreciate you, but we ain't giving you that. Like, he took a shot at all the agents.
He said, we ain't giving you that.
He's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time.
Damn, that's real. That's real.
He knew it was going on. Make you believe it and make you like him at the same time. Unbelievable.
He a cold-blooded, he a cold hustler, ain't he? He a cold-blooded hustler for that, man. That's cold-blooded, Jerry. Stall him out, Jerry. This is your backup, man. He playing pretty decent. Been on the team for years, man. Let him get his bread, man. That's cold-blooded, man. But it's what it is. I guess that's the business of the NFL. That's the business of the league. Weddle's in the background trying to get his camera right so he can come on. Before we bring him on, though, Bailey, can you bring up the draft order real quick? Bring up that draft order again. Shaun is a guy knower of all things, especially at the college football level here. I just want to look at the top 5 picks. I know we talked about this a little bit earlier. Tennessee, Cleveland, Giants, New England, Jacksonville. I want to kind of discuss with you just our opinions. Who you think gonna go where? Just looking at the top 5 picks, man. Like, we got Tennessee with the number 1 overall pick. Do you think they go quarterback with that number 1 overall pick? Or do they go somewhere and go Travis Hunter? I've been hearing rumors that Travis is on the radar. They might pick up Travis Hunter, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, this isn't a great draft for the first round. This is and I'm not all the way through my deep dive on all the positions, but yeah, I've done probably 5-6 positions already. It's a lot of quality players. I'm not sure it's a lot of elite top end of the first round talent.
Got you.
So Tennessee and Cleveland kind of got the same decision. We have an incumbent at quarterback. If you're Tennessee, after selecting Malik Willis and then Will Levis, do you go quarterback again? I mean, that would be 3 draft picks used on the quarterback position in 4 years. If you're Cleveland and we can find the injury settlement way out of the contract with Deshaun, do we go quarterback at 2? And the reason I bring those 2 decisions up, Giants need a quarterback, Raiders need a quarterback, New Orleans potentially needs a quarterback. If Tennessee and Cleveland aren't going quarterback, and in a weak quarterback class, guys have Cam and Shador as the top 2 quarterbacks, regardless if I think they're upper echelon first-round picks or not, what are you willing to give up to get to 1 or 2? I think that's where the draft starts.
Right.
If Tennessee and Cleveland aren't going quarterback, as much as I like Travis Hunter, what I could charge the Raiders to move up to 1 or 2, or the Saints to move up to 1 or 2, I mean, geez. I mean, I probably get multiple firsts, add a second, and maybe a player.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, just from a business decision, it's like you can get a lot more. But it's gonna be interesting to see, man. I feel like it's gonna be hard though if you're Tennessee to not get a quarterback. But like, to your point though, like you said, because of the nature of this draft, it's like, why not trade with the Raiders? Still get a decent pick, right? You can still probably get somebody there if you want to just get a placeholder, because there's no guaranteed locks at quarterback this year. I think that's not a shot. I think that's fair.
Well, here's what's interesting. We don't know what the free agent market is going to look like. And I'm not saying these guys' names because I believe they're necessarily good quarterbacks. I'm saying their names because they do have experience. Daniel Jones will more than likely be available. Aaron Rodgers in a lot of scenarios will be available. Bailey, can you put the list back up one time? I was going down it. Yeah. Derek Carr could potentially be available. So there are some guys, Kirk Cousins. There are some names out there that have played football. Maybe Sam Darnold if the Vikings decide to go to JJ. because Sam don't like
I
the
want Sam coming to Colts. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want Sam coming to Colts.
Right. So, I mean, that's the thing. Is Joe Flacco gonna play a guy? So you could find a stopgap guy if you're Tennessee,
right?
Because they've got Calvin Ridley, they've got Tony Pollard, like they've got a pretty solid defense. So like, it's not like that thing is barren. Cleveland, I told him on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, I said you need to fumigate the whole building. You know how in the hood they put that thing on to get rid of all the insects and the bugs, and to fumigate the whole building in Cleveland.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Like I know people say like that you don't believe in like curses and all that stuff. I don't really believe in it for real, but
they got some sorcery thing going on.
There's something going on in Cleveland. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, outside of LeBron bringing that one ring to Cleveland, it seems like Cleveland in general just got some bad juju around there, bad sauce, bad something going around. So I'm with you, man. They need to like some.
And before we go to Weddle, right quick, because I was looking at the chat.
Yeah.
The old Taco Banks from Texas and the kid from LSU, the offensive tackle, are really good players. So if Tennessee and Cleveland wanted to go elite and safe, they could go offensive line. I do agree with that. I think the kid from Penn State, Abdul Carter, is overrated. I'm still doing some deep dive on some of the other defensive linemen out there.
Got you, man. Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll do more. I'm sure we'll probably have more of a draft show in the coming months as we get closer to the actual draft. Weddle just texted me, he said he has no internet on his phone right now. He's trying to figure it out. So we'll just keep rolling, and then hopefully he could try to get in. Here in a minute. He's texting right now, so keep saying no internet. Let's move on to another topic though, man. Kind of going to
hey man, tell Weddle to get rid of that cricket phone, man.
He probably can hear right now, man. Cricket, man. Was it Mint Mobile? He got that Mint Mobile going on.
Yeah, old school used to be Cricket.
Yeah, I remember Cricket. That's in the hood too. You go there and get you a buy here, pay your phone right now. Internet, everything, $50. Just everything.
Tell Weddle, just because it's the all black version of the Coach JB show. I didn't hear you could text from your phone. Come on, man. You on 5G anyway.
He's trying to play us, John, because it's the brother on the show.
It sounds like come on, man. Okay.
Weddle rock with the brothers though. I think that's
absolutely.
We know that. We saw him with Lamar, how they did they handshake, they hug. He locked in, man. So
you know I fuck with Weddle. That's my dude.
Shout out to E-Dub, man. Hopefully he can get on, man, for sure. 5-star. It's a 5-star recruit though. Betty, I want you to jump in real quick, Betty, if you can. Is it Ajayi? Yeah, Ajayi. What's his name?
Ajayi, yeah. I think Shaun got it.
He's from Tampa.
Ajayi Hall. Okay, I figured you would know. He's committed to Sacramento State, he announced. Former 5-star recruit, transferred from Alabama to Texas to UCF, but never officially joined the team. I guess you could say the grass ain't always greener on the other side here, man, but he has committed to Sacramento State. Is this a little bit of a shocker to you? What's going on here? 5-star recruit, Sacramento State?
So for some context, and I didn't know we were talking about him, but Jerome Ford, running back from the Browns?
Yes.
He was a teammate of Ajayi Hall. Warren Thompson was a receiver. He went to Florida State. They had another running back on that team, went to Ohio State.
Yeah.
D Tackle went to North Carolina. The big, huge defensive lineman from Florida that's there now.
Real big buddy. Yeah.
He was a freshman, sophomore on their senior team at Arnwell High School. They were loaded. And listen, I want the kid to be successful. I can tell then he's going to have a rough go of it in college. Just a kid that never really been held accountable. Talented, but lazy in a lot of ways. Never has, been forced to do things the right way. And that's kind of why he hasn't been able to stay in any of those top-tier programs. So shout out to Brennan Merriam, who was the OC for UNLV the last 2 years, and their resurgence, who got the head job at Sacramento State. Shout out to Brennan. Hopefully he can get him out there. And Ajayi's older now. Hopefully he's matured a little bit and ready to, make one last run.
Yeah, at some point, man, we got to stop blaming the coaches and stuff, and you got to blame the actual quote-unquote the kid. I know we call them a kid. They are kind of, but at some point, you junior, whatever, like you a young man, and it's time for you to look yourself in the mirror and have some common sense and some accountability and be like, all right, man, I haven't made the best decisions in my past. I have not held myself accountable, let alone somebody else holding me accountable. it's time for me to man up and like take my career seriously. Because the thing that pisses me off the most, man, as a guy who wants to see everybody do well, is when you have all this freakishly gifted talent, this blessing from God. Because let's be real, like when you a 5-star guy, like yeah, you work, you have to work too. We all got to work. You play football, you have to work to some extent. But if you 5-star, you're blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that just like me, I could never be a 5-star. It don't matter how hard I work. It just at the end of the day, it was a certain cap of my talent. When you're a 5-star guy, man, that is a blessing. And to see it go to waste, that's one of the biggest, like it really like it just frustrates because like man, you never get a chance to see how great somebody really could be. Like who knows? He could be the next Hall of Fame receiver. You know what I'm saying? You just never know because when you're not acting, and again, I don't know the key. I'm listening based on what you said, and I'm sure there's other factors as well, but you're hopping from school to school to school to school, and you're not locking in. It sucks to see somebody, you know, and he's just the example, but it sucks to see anybody like him not fully get the floor. So hopefully I'm praying and hoping that, to your point, he's matured and that he will flourish at Sacramento State and he can have a long career at the NFL because it literally changed your life. You know what I'm saying? So.
And let me say this, and this is an attack on a giant. Can you take that graphic off?
Yeah, just so it's more of a broader. Yeah, I got
it. I'm sick of this NCAA. Look, man, I'm sick of giving these 24, 25-year-old guys another chance. Man, listen, when you leave high school, you got a window to go to college and develop on the field, off the field, and turn into the best version of yourself as a player that you can. Yeah. Man, once that's expired, man, let these young guys get their shot.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tired of, you know, these guys, you know, failing 3-4 places and getting, you know, another opportunity because they're taking up spots from young kids.
Yeah. Now I feel you.
You know, this at some point, it's got to change.
Yeah. And JB talked about that too. You know, I always had like mixed feelings about it, but I do understand what you're saying. It's like, all right, bro, you've been hopping around. It's year 6, it's year 7. Hey, you just not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think at some point it's like, hey, you just ain't got it, and that's okay. And I know it's hard,
especially because of how much more developed you are at 23 than you are at 18.
Right.
Like
so you ain't got it.
23-year-old in college should be dominating.
Yeah, that should be easy.
God forbid if you're 24, like Knicks and Penix and last year's, you know, QB class. But at 23, playing as 18, you should be dominating.
Yeah, if you still struggling, that's an issue. That's a huge red flag, and you gotta look yourself in the mirror. But you know, man, as athletes, it's hard to just admit it. It's hard to admit, like, damn, it's over. Even for me, I had a knee injury going to my last year, whatever, and I got disqualified, and I was still trying to go to like NAIA. I was trying to figure it out, but I knew my knee wasn't right, and it just was like it was hard for me to just be like, man, Darnell, it's over. Like football got you this far. And it was a blessing. You got your school paid for and all this and the third, but this is where your cap is at. You know what I'm saying? For somebody else, it might be, you know, NFL for a couple of years. It's like, all right, this is where your cap, you know what I'm saying? But it is hard for an athlete when you're living a certain lifestyle for so long. And like you said, you've been kind of coddled to, you know, little stuff. For me, it's the police escorts, it's the private plane, it's the food, you're used to that type of stuff. And then you get to a point, it's like, damn, like I gotta be a regular person now. Yes, you do. And to that point, there's actually a college guy here who actually came out with a like a little note saying, Washington linebacker Drew Fowler, who says, I'm officially declaring for the job market. He said, in other words, I need a job. And I honestly love it because obviously he's being a little, you know, a little funny with it. But he said, listen, my LinkedIn is updated and I am open to work. And I love that. He know what it is. He's saying, listen, I appreciate y'all. Had a hell of a career. It was fun. Committed here in 2019 and had a lot of learning lessons. It's beautiful, but like it's time for me to work, man. I thought this was hilarious and perfect transition for what we were talking about.
Hey, here's the best line in this. I am your guy. Gritty, hardworking, sneaky, athletic.
Sneaky, right? Like it kind of surprised you. And oh, okay.
What's this kid's name?
Drew Fowler.
Drew Fowler. Okay, he's one of my new favorite guys. I love this, man.
Yeah,
I love this. This is awesome.
And I don't know what his major is or what he got going on, but send your resume over and we might see what we can make shake, man. You know,
I like that. I like that. That's dope, man. That's pretty funny.
Nah, I love that for sure. I love that for sure. So shout out to Drew Fowler, shout out to the family, and shout out to the job market out there wherever he's looking for. If he fits his major fits what you got, give him a chance, man. So transitioning here, man. Talk a little FCS real quick. FCS Championship, North Dakota State versus Montana State. Montana State undefeated, led by Walter Payton. I think Walter Payton Jr., I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And the winning QB, Tommy Millette, I believe, talking about playing North Dakota State, who was led by Cam Miller, man. Montana State is 3-point favorites. Now, Shaun, I know you a gambling man. I don't know, but tell me this. Did you gamble on FCS? Is this something that you looked into, or you ain't even tapped into this yet?
Well, the North Dakota State team I saw play Colorado. What was it, first game of the year?
Mm-hmm. Yep, first game of the year, yep.
FCS couldn't have been that much quality this year. That was not like a normal loaded North Dakota State team to begin with. Not at all. I've never seen Montana State play, so I would not have a dog in this fight.
Yeah.
I would potentially watch the game if it's on like at a time where it's convenient and I don't have any other obligations or anything else to watch.
Hold on. I gotta cut you off. So you're saying if you have absolutely nothing to do,
right?
The kids ain't got nothing to do. You ain't get invited nowhere. You ain't going out to eat. There's no good movies on. NBA not on. NFL not on. Baseball, hockey, soccer. If there's nothing else going on, you gonna watch this game.
No, football is always gonna be in front of the other sports. But I'm saying I'm not gonna schedule the day around because this is 4:00 today, right?
What's today? This is today.
It's 4:00 Pacific, right? 7 Eastern. I'm not gonna schedule the day around this game, but if for some reason I'm idle at 4, I wouldn't have a problem.
You ain't order no wings and like having the homies come over and some nachos.
No, this is more of a salad with a light vinaigrette, kind of game. At least you're eating right.
Some croutons.
It's not a beer and wings kind of contest.
He said this right here. This is a new year, new me type of contest. This is
right. If you're on one of those fasts for January or something like this, your game.
This is a vegan game.
Yeah.
It's the vegan bowl.
Thursday, that's a beer and wings contest.
Yeah, that's a beer and wings pizza type of contest for sure, right there, man. Are you? You know what? We ain't gonna have you on until what? Friday. So damn, baby. I know this is probably seem early and it went on the rundown, but we should damn near down to the games, huh? Because we ain't gonna have time till Friday to go against it. So if you can find a grab or something, I don't put you on the spot here, but let's dive into some of these matchups, man. It's time for we're gonna find out who's gonna be playing in the Natty here. You got who we got? Notre Dame, Penn State playing Thursday first, and then we got Texas Ohio State. I've been on the board Ohio State's bandwagon. I said it from the end of the season. My eyes work. I don't care about that Michigan loss. That's a rivalry game that can go either way. That happens. I'm a big fan of Ohio State. They have the most talent on the field, in my opinion. Now the quarterback and Will Howard starting to get his confidence going at the right time. Jeremiah Smith is a problem. I like Ohio State to beat Texas. I like Ohio State to win the whole damn thing. On the flip side, I got Notre Dame beating Penn State. Notre Dame's been rolling after that loss to NIU in the MACtion. So I see it in Ohio State, Notre Dame national championship game with Ohio State winning. That's what I got, though, Shaun. What say you?
So let's start with this. Penn State's only there because of the bracket.
Okay, that's what you and JB said.
A very fortunate draw. SMU, Boise State, very fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is the only team in the country that's as talented as Ohio State. This Ohio State receiving core versus this Texas secondary is going to be a fantastic matchup.
Yeah.
I don't trust Quinn Ewers and those lollipop, no velocity balls that he be out there throwing.
Yeah, I hear you.
But if he channels the 2 years ago Ewers at Tuscaloosa version, Texas will beat Ohio State. If he plays like he's played in the SEC title game and then against Arizona State, Ohio State's going to win. Notre Dame's key to victory is one thing. For Riley Leonard to be a guy that went to Duke and he was able to transfer to Notre Dame, he's far from high football IQ. Like he does some of the most like boneheaded things ever. If he will throw the ball in rhythm on time, Notre Dame can win the national championship. They're good enough everywhere else. regardless of if it's Penn State, Ohio State, Texas. If he doesn't, then Notre Dame will probably get a double-digit loss to Texas or Ohio State. It all revolves around Riley Leonard. And I'm talking about the little stuff, like on 2nd and 4, guys opening the flat, throwing it on in rhythm on time as opposed to scrambling around, nothing's there, taking a 6-yard sack. Now y'all in 3rd and, like, I'm talking about the little things that you would expect a Duke, Notre Dame caliber academic kid to, like, be able to transfer on the field from a decision-making process. But we'll see. Texas can beat Ohio State. This is up to Quinn Ewers.
But you don't think Penn State is capable of beating Notre Dame? Is that what you're saying?
No,
There's no chance. There's no angle that you could see Penn State beating Notre Dame.
No, not unless Leonard gets hurt early.
Interesting. Okay, that's interesting to say. I mean, listen,
Penn State's not that good.
Look at his face. Like, why you saying like that with such disappointment?
I went back. Like, first of all, SMU was out there like a high school JV team.
Don't do that.
The Boise State game.
Best running back in the country.
The unsoundness of what Penn State did to stop Ashton Jennings. I know it made Dirk Cutter retire. People think it's the NIL. Like, it made, like, Boise State had guys running wide open, and for whatever reason, the first time all year, Maxson, the quarterback, didn't play a good game, didn't consistently hit them. Like, Penn State had the whole team within 6 yards of the line of scrimmage for the majority of the game. Yeah. They can't do that against Notre Dame.
Man.
And they're going to have to play base defense a lot of times. I don't know if they're good enough. I don't trust the quarterback.
Man, well, listen, we got somebody here, man, I want to close the show with. I know the internet was a little off, but I think he's in the background. We got 10 minutes left, and I do gotta bounce to get the Fox to get to work, but we gotta bring in the main man, Super Bowl champion. It's E-Dub Monday. Let's go to the video, Benny. Bring him in.
Yeah. I'm in my mode, ready to transform you into I hate a storm, Hail Marys, I make it pour. Good, I ain't lying, you little giants, we been defying. Rising. What's the cost? Speed of balls, breaking down the walls. We all in once the coin gets tossed. Got the plan of action, never acting. No need to scramble to get traction. We make it happen. From 3-4 to 4-3, we get it cracking.
Fear the beard. Eric Weddle is here. What's going on?
What's up, boys? Sorry, I don't know. I've never had that happen with my phone. It literally, my internet wouldn't connect. It was, I restarted my phone to shut my phone off. Like, I don't know. I thought like, someone was taking over my phone or something and couldn't get through. But now it just clicked on. So I apologize. I'll have to come on another time this week. But first of all, is everything good at Fox?
My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it.
What's going on over there, man?
I got Eric Weddle, and I got lights to keep on. That's what I'm gonna say. What's going on at Fox?
That's wild over there. I don't know what they got going on over there. I got to keep an arm length.
In the words of Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, chaos is a ladder.
No doubt.
And speaking of chaos, let's bring up that bracket back up real quick. Because again, I know it's on Thursday, but I'm not for sure when E-Dub will be able to come back on or what the situation may be. So I still want to get your opinion on this just in case. We were just talking about the big time bowl games here to figure out who's going to play in the Natty. What's your take here? Ohio State versus Texas, Notre Dame, Penn State. How do you see both of these games going?
Man, what a game by Texas ASU. Even though Texas was outplaying them throughout the game, the fight and the belief by ASU, got to tip my hat to them. And honestly, you don't want to see a game be decided by a penalty, but that was 100% a targeting call, and that didn't happen. But they still had opportunities to win that game. So that was a fun team to watch. And that running back Scatabo, willing his team to win. Is he really?
Yeah, he's coming on. Showed him wrong.
Wow,
he got him locked in. Yeah,
that's awesome. So what a great game. I think, man, Ohio State, the last two games have been.
E-Dub, your sound went out, E-Dub.
Yeah, I got a call coming in.
There you go. You're back. Hold on, now you're gone again.
And I got can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, Ohio State, and I don't know, it's 50-50 Notre Dame, Penn State. I think they're the same teams, same type of philosophy. It'll probably be like a 17-14 game. And, who knows when that game. I don't think anyone's beating Ohio State. I thought the winner of Ohio State, Oregon was going to win it all, and even more so right now, I don't think anyone's playing at the level of Ohio State.
It's funny. Shaun just said that he doesn't think there's like a only chance he has Penn State of beating Notre Dame is if Leonard gets hurt. Like it's pretty much what he said. Like there's no way he sees Penn State winning. It's kind of contradicts what you said though. You see Notre Dame and Penn State as the same team, so it's kind of interesting, Shaun.
Yeah, I'm gonna be careful on the word count here because I don't know what the hell Weddle got going on ever since that drone flew over his house. I mean, he been having all kind of technical difficulties.
Oh man,
I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't want to get like pulled into like whatever web.
You know what it is? Weddle started the show off, and he made comments about a certain organization. That organization got power, and as soon as they heard they kicked the whole script on him.
No, I'm at the school. I got a college coming in right now. Meet one of my kids, so.
Okay.
He called me and said he's 5 minutes out. So when someone calls, it like, shuts your phone down. So I had to ignore it. But I'm good. I got a few more minutes, so you got to get out of here. So I just want to give a shout out to the old lady. I turned 40 on Saturday, and she hooked me up. I just want to hold on.
Hold on, turn it.
Let me
There
get
you go.
that.
Right there.
Nice.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me show that a little bit.
Okay, Weddle.
Nice. Let's see. Hey, do this favor for me, guys. Hey, Weddle, close out the show for me. I got the 10-year-old I got to drop off at elementary.
Yeah, go ahead, Shaun.
There you go, Shaun.
All right, we got you.
On, man. Yes, sir.
We got you.
He dealt with
I'm a very frugal with what I've made over my career, but one thing I do splurge on is watches, and I wear them every day. I got about six to seven really nice watches, and she hooked me up. I love it, and so shout out to my wife. She's a real one.
Shout out to your wife, man. I love watches too, man. It's something about a man and a watch. It's hard to explain. I guess like a woman in a bag maybe is the correlation I would see. But that's dope. You're turning 40.
I just turned 40, man. Yeah, never looked so good and felt so good. So 40 is a new 20 in my mind.
Happy birthday. It is Capricorn season, man. My birthday's on January 19th, man. I'm turning 31.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Man, you're so young.
We're both millennials, technically, though. Technically speaking, we're in the same little. Yeah.
I don't know. Is 85? I don't know.
Yeah, you're a millennial. I'm a millennial.
Right,
I barely made it.
Whatever the next one is, I don't side with whatever the next group is. So I guess
next one's like Gen Z, and then now they got something else coming out called what's it called? Meta. I don't know. Some other
anything with letters and made up things. I don't know. I'm not
rocking with that. Well, let me ask you about. Let's switch over to NFL real quick, man. We got the NFL. We got the playoff brackets finally kind of laid out and figured out right now as far as who's playing who.
I'll go through my entire in 1 minute. Okay.
Let's do it.
Chargers going to beat the Texans. Then they're going to go upset the Chiefs. Okay. Yeah. And I got Baltimore, Buffalo in the division round. The winner of that will host the AFC Championship game and go on to the Super Bowl. So I don't really know who's going to win between those two, but I got winner of Baltimore or Buffalo will be in the Super Bowl on the AFC side. Okay, I got the Rams beating the Vikings. I got Tampa over Washington, and I got Green Bay over Philly.
No, you don't. Don't say that.
I do. I'm not. I don't think they're got the momentum, and I just think there's something to Green Bay in the playoff time. Okay, so then from there, if that happens that way, it would be
Tampa. It would be what?
Tampa Lions. Lions beat Tampa, and then it would be LA Green Bay at home in LA. I got LA, and then a rematch from last year. Detroit beat LA to end their season. LA beats the Lions to get to the Super Bowl. So I got a Buffalo, Baltimore versus LA Rams Super Bowl. And from there, I don't know from there. But that's who I got. And It's gonna be exciting.
I would not be surprised if that happened. Before you jump off earlier, I said, man, listen, dude, don't be shocked if the Rams make it to the NFC Championship game because, like, just the way it's played out, they got healthy at the right time. Defense is young, but they're playing well. Obviously, you got Stafford, of course, Puka, Cooper Kupp is decently healthy now. Like, that's probably one of the scariest teams to play. But I'm looking real quick, just for clarity, and you know more than me, of course. The Lions will play the
lowest seed,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
that would be Green Bay then. Sorry, if Green Bay beats Philly, Green Bay plays Detroit. I still think Detroit would beat them.
Yeah.
So if that worked out that way, and then it would be Tampa, LA for sure beating Tampa or Washington.
The same thing either way. Rams and Lions. Ooh,
Rams,
that
Lions.
happens, man. That's gonna be insane, man.
That would be wild.
I got Baltimore winning to get off. So who you gonna root for then if it's the Ravens and the Rams? Have you thought about that yet?
I'm rooting for both teams. I'm a winner. I'm a winner by default. So I think I'll wear a Ravens hat with a sweatshirt of the Rams and then some sweats of the Ravens, and I go out there and pull for both teams. I'd just be happy the entire game. I would be good.
Yeah. Listen, the Rams already got a ring, so I'm gonna be pulling for Lamar Jackson. And
I'm pulling for the Ravens hard, man. I talked to Harbs yesterday. I talked to Shaun over this past week. All I know is Shaun was adamant about getting his guys healthy, and he did not care about the loser of Minnesota. I'm drawing like Detroit. He's like, he's like, hey, whoever loses and we end up the 4th seed, we're good. So let's go rock. So that got me hyped.
Hey, I love Shaun. I've never met Shaun, but just from a distance, he just looks like a type of leader you want to play for. Just smart as hell, but like a man's man. Like he's gonna hold you accountable. Like you could just see that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously,
he's one of one.
He's
one, man.
Well, I love it, man.
Right, man.
Listen, I appreciate you for hopping on. I know you got D1 coaches coming in for your players. So if you can hop on again later this week, obviously hit up JB,
let's do it.
We'll figure it out. And
let's do it,
man. You have a good one, though, man. I appreciate you.
You too, Smitty. Have a good one, brother.
Yes, sir, man. Eric Weddle, Mondays, man. And appreciate all y'all, man. We still had over 1,000 to end this show, man. Y'all staying on the whole time, even though JB had to bounce to do all the smoke today. I'm sure that's going to be a crazy episode. I think D. Jones asked earlier, do they shoot live or is it pre-recorded? I'm pretty sure D. Jones, and for the fans, it's pre-recorded. So I think they'll probably shoot it today and then, who knows, drop it later this week or whatever their schedule is. But whatever it is, y'all know JB's crazy as hell. It's going to be fireworks. And it'll be good for our show, too, to promote the show. So when that gets going, we'll all tune into that. But again, man, thank y'all so much. Make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't done so. Become a member. We're going to be in a Discord all day today. And make sure you haven't yet, go subscribe to the other channel because I guess JB got some thoughts about some other stuff over there. Ain't got nothing to do with me, but that's what he got going on. So I'm about to go to work, though. I got to clock in so I don't get fired. If y'all need me, I'm in the Discord. Other than that, man, y'all be blessed. Y'all have a great day. Y'all go to work, make your money, and we gonna see y'all tomorrow morning. Coach AB, Big Smitty, we out. Peace.